there, and welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. We hope everyone's settled in and having a great day because we're about to have a blast. We've got some awesome guests on the panel tonight. You can find the links to their channels in the description below, so be sure to check them out and see what they're all about. I sure do hope that you've gone to the bathroom already, everybody, because the show is about to begin. Take it away, Flip and Rook.
God damn it, do I have a thing playing?
I don't know. I think we're live. Man.
Oh, crap. Oh, God dang it.
Hey.
I ruined our intro.
You're live.
Oh, yeah, we're live now. Yep. Oops. I had like 4 or 5 tabs open that I couldn't see, and then one of them still was playing the thing. The other ones were muted, though. But then that one wasn't. Gosh dang it.
I think it was fine. Yeah.
It's all good. What's up, everybody? We're the Fandom Collective. We are back. This is Nerdcast. Hell yeah. Yeah, we know that there's quite a few people streaming tonight. I saw Mark the Cyborg, Kame Mark, a bunch of other people. Anna just went live and everything. So if you guys are stream hopping, that's fun. That's cool. Talk about quite a few different things today. We're about the bad dog situation. Going to talk about the stormtrooper police stuff. Not fun at all. And if we got time, we're going to talk about some of the state of movie theaters and Disney. Apple might buy Disney. They just might.
I would like
that. But before any of that stuff, we got our guests in the back room. They'll be joining us in about 10 minutes. But before that, Flip, we had a little funny thing happen to us the last day. You want to mention that real quick?
Yeah. So we had a little situation on Twitter. You might have seen where I just said, "Hey, this is blocked," and then I said a little something nice about some of our people that come by, like Giovanna, who we're proud of, and then we got something. We found something alive, and we just sort of recorded a little bit of it to show you how hilarious it is, and we want you to see this. Yeah.
Oh yeah, this is the Fandom Collective's first full-on hater, and he's got some real beef with us. Let's see what he has. He seems like a really nice guy.
To me, motherfucker, the rookie critic. He's a fucking rookie. Fucking Jeff. He's like co-creator of this fucking cult, the Fandom Collective. I named it after this little bitch blocked me. I tweeted out the picture that he fucking blocked me, and that he pretends to be right. This flip down.
You fake. You fake.
I don't know, man. That's weird, right?
Right wing kind of guy, but he acts like a little bitch.
I like the music you added.
Thank you.
You at Fandom Collective.
Real mature, Chris.
Pretending to be on the right instead of putting a real YouTube channel that's been around for 7 years, like mine.
Like yours.
Fuck you. I have over 1,300 fucking videos.
That suck. 1,300. That
all of my
suck.
fucking videos are real. None of my
real
videos
shitty.
None of my fucking videos are bullshit. Are little bullshit funny skits. No, everything on my fucking channel.
How dare you do a skit, Rook?
Motherfucker.
It's so simple.
I'm a real motherfucker.
He's real.
That's why YouTube buries me.
Yeah, YouTube buries him because he's a real motherfucker. He's real.
He kills me to watch.
He's not imaginary. He's not pretend. He's real. And everyone else is why he fails. For 7 years, everyone else is why he fails.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think he has one last word.
Oh.
Or skip all the nonsense.
Rookie critic, the fucking Fandom Collective, this cult known as the Fandom Collective. Interact and try to help out others. Yeah, I interact with every one of my fucking fans.
No one knows you.
Who?
Yeah, nobody knows who he is. But all right, I mean that's cool. That's all right. It's all good.
We got our first hater, bro.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. It's more sad though. It's like, yeah, he's been at it for 7 years and he's done nothing to improve, and he seems to care so much, but he doesn't want to do a damn thing. Get off your butt and do something different. Sorry. If you want to grow, yeah, go ahead.
Well, it's all because that we didn't do a Fandom Collective card. If I was putting him up the night that he got mad and said that, I about to put him up. But, guys, listen, we are trying to get everybody up. Any Fandom Menace, and if you're not and you don't want a card, people have told me, hey, I'm not Fandom Menace, but I still like being in the collective. That's cool too. There's going to be another promotion later down the road, not too far away, and that'll be for people who want a trading card, But overall, no one's being skipped. It's completely random unless someone gets nominated, in which case I'm happy to put you on the next one. I've got about 8 people in the wait, but it's not like we're trying to diss anybody. I just want everyone to know.
Yeah, we're really just doing this for fun with the cards and stuff. And Daniela is really talented with doing the cards for everybody that she does for free because she wants to. And if you're upset that somebody else gets posted before you, regardless of your 7 years of fame, grow up. We don't owe you a goddamn thing at all. So you're going to cry about it and everything. That's on you, man. That's on you. We didn't do nothing to you. You're just crying about it. So we're not gonna harp on this thing because we don't really care. But it is funny though, and just to show this kind of guy, we're not punching down on him, we're not picking on him. This dude, he did a whole 4-hour live stream, the Fandom Collective cult rant. He called us pedophiles. He called us all this bullshit, and put some tweets, read them out loud publicly. So that's full on domain for us to do that as well. So if you guys want a little peek about him, we can see what he has to say. Very nice person, very nice. He approached us a long time ago asking for some advice on how to grow, pretty much, or he at least stated that YouTube doesn't push him very much, and we give him advice and then he ignores it, but whatever. And he said to Giovanna, posted on Twitter, a deleted thing basically, where he just says, fuck Giovanna, her videos are boring, she sucks, subscribe to me, I've actually been on here for 7 years and all this. And we're just like, no, that's not gonna happen. So we don't need that on our thread. You can hate whoever you want, you can do whatever you want, you can say whatever you want, but you do it on our thread, like deliberately being an ass like that, we're gonna boot you. Yeah, we don't need that. So goodbye. And then he messages me going like, Flip betrayed me. He's a coward. He did this and that's evil. And it's just like, okay, dude. I'm just like, he messages me and he says, he also promised to make me a card and he never did. I'll show you the conversation. I'm the one who told him to not make one because he sounds crazy right now. Like with the way he's demanding it. It's like, no, you don't demand it and get it like that. And then I respond basically, calm down, dude. It's not like you're being real nice in the first place. As for the message where he's screaming about Giovanna, and it says, we don't appreciate your attitude over your cards, being made for free. In the video, he's like, what? Like he's doing me a fucking favor? It's like, dude,
kind of. Yeah.
You don't deserve. We don't need to do anything for you. So, you're gonna be offended by that. That's on you, dude. Yeah. And then basically, I'm just like, if you really want to grow your channel, you got to be willing to change your tactics, interact with people, try to help out others, not be hostile so easily. Everyone's got to deal with some kind of roadblocks, even if some people have more than others, but it's up to you to get past them. It's pretty much how you grow. That's all I got to say. I wish you well, and I wish you luck with your channel. But then he responds to me in all caps. In all caps. I don't know if you can see. All captions, this huge thing starts crying to me. I got to back away so I don't, overblow the mic or something. He's just like, yeah, I don't fucking like that bitch Giovanna. What? You don't appreciate that I speak the truth rather than promote an underage girl that's been around for 1 year with all the pedos wanking it to her boring ass zany videos of her talking into a camera and not promote someone that's been on YouTube for 7 years, more than you, with a variety of content. And yeah, I don't like her for a very good reason. She was a bitch to me in the DMs and thinks that she's better than everyone else. If your boy would have answered my DMs, we could have had a civil conversation, but he chose to ignore me like a coward, and it enraged me even further. Sorry that I speak my mind and don't fall in line with the shit this little YouTube cult that you created known as the Random Collective. And then he continues. My videos are real, unlike yours, and real motherfuckers do real motherfucking things. And the only reason YouTube buries my channel is because I'm real, and I'm not making stupid skits like you and Flip. And then I just respond simply, you sound like a crazy lunatic. If you don't like her or anyone, feel free. Just feel free. But we don't got to promote an asshole. And he's like, and I'm just like, speak your mind all you want. We give advice, we help people, and we make content. It's just YouTube, dude. Chill.
No.
Ugh. You know, his response was, you think he took that well, Flip?
No.
Nope, he goes, I know what the fuck I'm doing. I don't need to kiss Geeks and Gamers Jeremy's ass to get views or subs. I do my own fucking thing. That's what I do. And I'm just like, yeah, you make boring game videos. Congrats. We don't suck up to anyone. If you knew what you were doing, you'd have over 1K subs by now. And even if you don't, if you don't care, then that's fine. It's just YouTube. What are you freaking out for?
Yeah.
And he's like, give advice? Who the fuck are you to give advice? I've seen your videos and they suck. I've been a YouTuber way longer than any of you. And Flip and I, and you and Flip don't, wait, what? God damn it, I hated this language here. Says, I've been a YouTuber way longer than you and Flip, and I didn't kiss anyone's ass to get here, unlike you two. I'm just like
using kissing ass with interest in respecting and being people's friends.
Just interacting, natural interaction. That's all that it is. And I'm just like, skits actually take effort, scripting, writing, filming, acting, editing, more than just sitting on your ass playing a game. But I mean, you know, people can do that and be entertaining, unlike him, which is why he's not successful. Sorry, dude, but that's just kind of how that is. And then he's just like, effort, not much because they still suck, and you're a boring little bit. I thought he said fat here. He didn't say fat here. Oh, that would have worked so much better if he called me fat there. He said, they still suck, and you're a boring little bitch. You probably never even watched my videos. You lying fat piece of shit. Oh, that's where it is. There we go. See, instead of coming on here and talking to me like a man, all you want to do is protect your little bitch boy and your cult. Fuck you. And then he blocks me.
Yeah.
And it's like, you did a 4-hour live stream bitching about us. You made this whole big deal about all these things because we didn't post a card for you. Wah. Sorry.
If you made 20 minutes.
7 years you've been failing. That's your own fault. You were around when there was way less competition, when there was way less restrictions on YouTubers, and you still can't do it. Sorry, but if you're failing that much, this is advice to anybody that's struggling to get a following on YouTube, then change some tactics. But also, he has like 500 subscribers, which he should be happy for. He should be thrilled that many people actually want to watch his content. That's good. And he shouldn't care about what I have, what you have, what Geeks and Gamers has. That has nothing to do with him. It's like if you're a business and you are, you've been steady, you haven't increased much for however many years, for 7 years, let's just say, and then a new business comes up the block and then they're getting all the new customers. Like, you're going to start blaming them. They're the reason why I'm failing, even though it's been for 7 years, but they're the reason why I'm failing, and I'm not going to do anything to improve. That's you, dude. That's you. Be real all you want. If you want to be real and however you want to be and then do YouTube that way, then you should be happy. That's how you should be. Then you should be thrilled instead of bitching like you did and then calling people pedos that don't follow you. What the hell? Yeah. He said he's being attacked by us when we didn't do anything. We didn't even mention his name in the thread that you posted. You just said, hey, we just blocked somebody that's being a dick, and that's it. And nobody knew who you were when we referenced you. So apparently don't talk to anybody.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody in the chat. Go ahead, Flip.
We're all, it's okay. Good rant, actually. We're just, and I don't want to give this guy any more time, but I do want to say that I wanted to make sure in that particular thing that, that in the tweet, I just wanted to mention that Giovanna has worked hard to get where she's at. And I've seen it. I watched her from day one, not like a pedophile, like a sister. And I've just really respected how hard she's tried. She doesn't deserve to be called names on a tweet. In fact, none of us have done anything to deserve just simple names. If you want to debate me, if you want to debate topics, I'm more than happy to accommodate. I'll go off and we'll straight take turns talking to each other about whatever you'd like, but don't go after everybody in the collective for just being better than you. Thank you.
Exactly. Plain and simple. Sorry, dude. Just get over it. Just move on and you'll be fine. How's everybody doing in the chat tonight? Hope everybody's having a great day. You never see that side of us ever. This was the first time we've ever brought any type of drama onto the collective, ever. We've never mentioned it, never brought it up, really. Never. First time. Probably the only time.
Probably.
But, inside of that, we should make a collective cult now.
Yeah, cool.
And homage of him. We should make one now.
I would do that. I want us to be a cult now.
Totally.
If you want to join the collective, you'll have to snail mail me a drop of blood.
Exactly.
Not really. Don't do that.
Yep. Hello, Angelus Draven. Thank you for coming by, man. I hope you guys like the new intro. We got our little FC character that we played. We're going to work on some of those. We like that little guy, giving him some voices. Angelus says that would be interesting to say the least. Yeah, exactly. And we got the Script Doctor here. Script Doctor and Teresa Martin will be joining us any moment now. We're just going to say hi to the chat real quick, and then we shall start the show.
Yeah.
All right. We got Emperor Caesar here as well. He says, "Yo, dude, what's up? What's up?" He's doing he's one of the people in my project as well. He's playing 2 characters. He covered for somebody that wasn't able to do the rest. So he's got a lot that he's doing. I appreciate it. He just got a new green screen setup too. It's freaking awesome. It's freaking sweet. Ancient One's here. What's up, Ancient One? Good to see you. Good to see you. I'm surprised you didn't post a guinea pig thing down here. You always do those. And Agela says, yeah, some people are upset about the dumbest things. No one owes you anything, and we uplift everyone. Patience is the key. Yeah, exactly. And like when everybody just saw me screaming right there, I mean, that's just me acting because it's funny to do emphasis on the voice.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's like a skit, dude. It takes a little more effort than just sitting there, but whatever. It's all good. It's all good. And all right, let's see. Yep, he says it's all about networking and cultivating friendships while doing your own thing to push your channel. Exactly. Thank you. Wise words from a wise man. We got Exiled Opinions here. He says, I request popcorn and pizza. Hell yeah, that is what we all need. Popcorn, pizza, and soda. Don't forget the soda. Don't forget the soda. That always makes it. Ancient One says, the rookie critic speaking like one enraged Yoda. Pretty much. If only I could do it in that voice. Have a raged Yoda.
It does kind of sound that way, though.
Angry I am. Face you, I can't, because face. Backwards speak in anger tone. That'd be pretty funny. Brandon Count.
It has been.
Yes. Brandon Crouch says, sounds like he needs a wank. Yeah, exactly. He mentioned the word wank a lot, too, by the way, which is kind of funny. Hail Jack W Productions. What's up? Good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see everybody here. I see Snowdub just dropped in. I don't know. Did you just miss my rant, Snowdub? Yeah, Snowdub. If you missed my rant, go back to the beginning. I did the whole spiel there, which is kind of funny. So there we go. And yeah, he says, did I miss the rant? Yes, you did. You missed it. So you got to go back to the beginning and see it or watch it later. Without further ado, though, with everybody here, Fallon just showed up as well in the chat. What's up, Fallon? Just popping in for a moment to give you all a view. We appreciate that. Without further ado, we shall bring on our special giggity guests in just one moment.
Shall we begin?
So it begins. And now it begins. So it begins.
And so it begins.
Shall we begin?
Shall I begin?
Shall we begin? Shall we begin?
Ladies and gentlemen, the Script Doctor and Teresa Martin. What's up, guys?
Oh, not much. Thanks for having us on.
Hello there. Yes, good to see you again. We did not just have all that going on over there. So,
shall we begin?
Shall we begin? Shall we begin? You guys like that?
Yeah, it was great.
Lots of them.
Hell yeah. There's a lot more than I thought there was. I thought there'd be like 5. There's like 8 or more.
Oh, you go further back, you look at dozens.
Exactly. But yeah, so Script Doctor, you've been around here quite a bit of time. Same with you, Teresa. You both have actually been on quite a few times. So how are you guys
doing here?
Yeah.
Well, doing great. Just living the quarantine life.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. You got the cat, what do you call it when your cat's on your lap for too long? Cataritis? Catopolis?
Yes. Cataralysis.
Cataralysis, yes. That's good. The kitties will cost that all the time. What about you, Script Doctor? How's your quarantine life going over there?
I'm doing pretty fine with it. I feel deep down the heart for a lot of people that are getting stir crazy or cabin fever. But for myself, this is a okay environment for me. The circumstances not so much, but I'm used to sort of being alone on my computer typing away or reading a book. And luckily, I managed to land a girlfriend months before this thing happened, and she lives just down the road from me. So. Yeah, I'm still able to get some human face-to-face interaction, which is always nice. So yeah, I'm doing well, and I hope a lot of people out there are doing just as well, also biding their time getting through this little rough patch, and really hoping people stay safe, and that once this ball passes, we can return to a new form of normalcy.
Yeah, hard to get a girlfriend right now.
Yes. You are literally have to date online via Skype or StreamYards or something now.
Yeah.
The true form of online dating, as opposed to, I guess the other stuff is you just online meet and then you go interact, if I recall correctly. I did it once like years ago.
10 feet away from each other. You look nice over there. Okay, thank you. Oh, that's pretty funny. But yeah, so Flip, how have you been as well, dude? I don't know if I asked you that at the beginning. We just kind of went right in.
Yeah, glad to be here with all you fine folks. And well, Rookie and I, we've been busy together talking stuff, on the phone and whatnot. But yeah, just glad to be here. Been doing all the same stuff you guys are, trying to make videos, watch other people's videos.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. Well, we got a question for you guys. How about this? Before we get into the main topics, we're going to talk about the bad dog in a little bit. We're going to have Ryan Kennel join us in a couple minutes as well to talk about that. But before that, Teresa, how have you? Well, I was going to say, have you been adjusting to quarantine? But I feel like you've talked about quarantine a lot, especially on your streams and stuff. So let's go with the more simple question. Like, what are some of your favorite movies and TV shows?
Oh, well, for sure, one of my favorite movies of all time that I could watch over and over and over again is the movie Glory. That's Civil War. It's really sad and really depressing and really raw, but it's still one of my favorite movies. 1989, wasn't nominated for Best Picture, and it was a crime. I love to watch Civil War dramas and documentaries. That's one of the eras that I studied a lot when I was younger, and I used to do Civil War reenacting, so that's something that I like to do.
That's pretty good. You said Glory? Which one?
Glory. Yes, Glory. The one about the 54th Massachusetts.
Yes, love that one. Matthew Broderick and Morgan Freeman?
Yes, Morgan Freeman, Denzel Washington. He won the best supporting actor. It's a very raw movie though, because it's about a bunch of freed slaves and freedmen fighting for the North and facing horrendous prejudice, not just in the South, but of course in the North. It was terrible, very raw, and it really shows a lot of what it was really like to be fighting in the Civil War, especially if you were an African American. So it's pretty intense.
Yeah, I agree. Flip, have you seen Glory?
I saw it a long time ago, but she's right. It's pretty raw. That's about the best way you can describe it. And it does show a lot of the prejudice and, all that side of the war. It's pretty good. I like it.
Yeah, I'm sure nowadays it probably wouldn't even be allowed to be made because it uses a certain word that they used. But it really showed how they just didn't have any respect.
I saw it in high school. Like, it was a movie that they showed at school.
Okay. Well, maybe. Okay. Well, you were lucky. I guess it only takes one Karen to mess it up for everybody. And also my other favorite ones, if we're talking Civil War, we're at North and South, total chick flick, but an amazing depiction of the lead up to the Civil War. And so in the movie Gettysburg and Gods and Generals. So if I'm going along with those themes. TV shows. Right now, I'm really into the serial killers. There's something very wrong with me. I'm watching Criminal Minds. I'm watching documentaries. I'm just getting fascinated about the psychology behind it all. And I think during this quarantine, we've all figured out that everyone is a potential serial killer. So we need to do research for when it happens.
Perhaps.
Have you seen Dexter? Teresa, have you seen Dexter, the TV show Dexter?
Well, you see, no, I haven't. That's one of those I never got around to doing because it was on Showtime or it was on one of the premium channels that I don't have. But I might be delving into it. Because I think that the concept of it is absolutely fascinating, that a man knows he's a serial killer and decides, well, if I gotta kill, I may as well kill people that have it coming.
Yeah.
Why not? Yeah.
Doing a good deed.
I mean, what do they call it? Public service killing?
I guess so. That's what it could be called now. Public service killing. Yeah, PSK.
Absolutely.
Killing. What about you, Script Doctor? Have you seen Dexter or any of those ones?
Yeah, I saw Dexter when it was airing. I thought the first 4 seasons were pretty good, and then it sort of took a hard left turn away from what it was. I hear the novels it was based off of are quite interesting as well, but I haven't got around to reading them either.
It was based off a book.
Yeah.
Everything's based off of something these days, it seems.
It's easier to market.
Oh, yeah, that's true. What about you, Script Doctor, though? You got any favorite movies or shows that you're looking into?
Well, I have lots of favorite movies, but the one that's my number one favorite that I'd like to watch as often as I can is Who Framed Roger Rabbit. It's a great mystery, technical masterpiece. Bob Hoskins, Christopher Lloyd are fantastic in it. It's got jokes that are somewhat timeless, so it holds up even to this day. Yeah, it's. I remember seeing it in theaters as a kid, and even some of the shorts before some of the movie. I guess a couple of Disney movies that were out there, like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
I love those ones.
Yeah, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids was probably the only Disney movie I saw in theaters as a child, because I never saw any of the cartoon shows, or sorry, the cartoon stuff, or and anything outside of Mary Poppins until I got to college. Then I had to watch them for film school classes. But yeah, that one is Who Framed Roger Rabbit is my favorite movie that I always rely on. I also like Airplane and the Naked Gun series. Young Frankenstein, which I just watched recently with my girlfriend, is a fantastic comedy. As for TV series, geez, I got a lot. I collect as many of them on physical and digital as I can, so I have an archive. One of my favorites is Batman the Animated Series cartoon show. Is fantastic. I also really love Peter Falk and Columbo. I've got all of his episodes. Those are more of a.
I haven't seen that yet.
You should watch Columbo. They have. It was based off of a play that was redone twice. The first TV one I don't have. It was a different actor before Peter Falk. Then you had Peter Falk, and then Steven Spielberg gets one of his first directing credits, directing one of the first episodes of the ongoing made-for-TV movie series of Columbo. So you can see his early work there. What else am I watching?
You got a lot there. I like that. I figured you'd have quite a few for favorites, because there's I'm trying to guess how many you've seen, because you've been in the business, so you got experience up the wazoo.
I mean, I have a decent amount. I know people that aren't even in the industry at all, who are way more of a fanatic of film and television than myself, and I usually pick their brains if I can't remember a movie title, or something, or I hear a concept and I'm like, that sounds familiar. I'll just go ahead and ask my buddy if that's another movie, and they'll usually give me an answer. I was like, yep, that's a movie, it's this, go watch it, or nope, that's not a movie.
Of course.
Yeah, but that's I've been watching lots of old stuff just because the quality holds up really well, and I recommend checking out Cheers, All in the Family, Seinfeld if you haven't seen it.
I haven't seen that either. There's a lot I haven't seen.
Oh, Seinfeld. Yeah. Oh, Seinfeld's Classic 90s.
Seinfeld or Friends. I haven't seen those ones either.
You're not missing much with Friends.
Yeah.
But like I've got, I have an old VHS set of the Captain Power and the Soldiers of the Future, which is an old television show from the late '80s, science fiction. I've got Get Smart, which is a spy comedy, an American spy comedy from the '60s.
The Johnny English one?
No, it's with Don Adams. He's the voice of Inspector Gadget cartoons.
I gotcha.
And he did it was a parody of the James Bond films. So he's a spy working in Washington for Control, and he's fighting against an evil organization called Chaos. And it's a half-hour comedy show. It's co-written by Mel Brooks and has a lot of fun gags. Like he's given like a cyanide pill, and he's told by his chief that take this pill and here's a cyanide pill. When you swallow it, it'll bring instant death. And he asks the main characters, "You have any questions?" And he responds, "Yes. How do I get the bad guys to take the pill?" It's just little simple misdirection jokes like that, which I don't do justice repeating. But yeah, those are some things I'm watching.
Oh yeah, that's quite a list there. That's great. But real quick, we'll shift it back over to you guys in just a sec. But while we got Ryan Kennel here, I think he's got some stuff to say about the bad dog situation stuff. Little developments.
The bad dog. What's going on, Rookie? Thanks for having me on. How's everybody doing today?
Yeah, doing great. Yeah, great to see you.
Yeah, I planned on giving you a better entrance, Ryan. I feel like that's deserved for how you've been on fire lately with everything. I think you deserve something a little better. Let's.
Spears shall be shaken, shields shall be splintered. A sword day, a red day, and the sun rises.
There you go. That's your theme.
There you go. I don't know about all that, but I appreciate it. I tell you what, it does feel like I've got about 1 million people at my back going through this whole Naughty Dog thing. So it's looking, somewhat positive. There's been a couple claims that have started to be dropped. I think YouTube is finally starting to look into it and seeing that the way Musso filed these copyright claims was completely wrong. And they did not meet the requirements of everything they actually had to put in to be able to actually take a video down. Because every person so far, it's been a manual claim, and it's been a claim on the entirety of the video, and they don't even specify like what it is that violates their quote unquote copyright. So we saw Mr. H Reviews get his put back up. We saw Az from Heel vs. Babyface see his get put back up, and Lethal's got put back up very quickly.
Mm-hmm. So did the strike get removed though?
Yes, the strike got removed. So in the case of Az, his still has a copyright claim from Sony. But copyright claims happen, relatively often, and the video comes down and it's annoying, but it's not like a strike, right?
Right. It's way less damaging.
Yeah, exactly. Because now for about a week now, I've been sitting at 2 out of 3 copyright strikes. So you get one more of those in the bye-bye channel.
You're on the edge of that diving board, just like, okay.
Basically, and it's like, do I keep? I feel like everything that says like Naughty Dog or Last of Us 2 controversy or anything like that tends to get struck. But it's like, do I keep putting out videos about that and risk getting struck again, or do I just stop talking? So I've decided to just roll the dice and keep going, and been lucky so far. I don't know how many more times we can spin the roulette wheel and it lands on red, but I'm going to keep putting my money down.
Yeah, I'm glad that you are, because that's pretty ballsy. I mean, watching this go down, I think I was watching one of the streams where that was getting brought up and you were on, and then it's just like another one, and then the Geeks and Gamers gaming one was struck as well, and it's like, what the hell? And for people just talking, I mean, I guess it's one thing if people are showing things, but even then, you're doing commentary in general, so should be no right anyway for that. And you think they'd have to specify, like when they make a claim, that, okay, they are making a claim because they're doing blank in this part of these sections, something. So it seems like you can just button, strike.
Yeah, that's exactly it. What YouTube does is they pull it down before they evaluate anything. As soon as a copyright strike comes, they just pull it down. And with Lethal hadn't even submitted his counter yet. YouTube just went in there and realized that they didn't fill it out properly. And he showed that in his video, that YouTube had basically sent an email to the company saying, hey, this is garbage. This doesn't meet the requirements. You can resubmit if you want to be more specific. So that's basically what's going on right now. I don't know exactly how the timing is working, why that happened like in Mr. H reviews and then Lethal Lightning's vid, but the other vids, specifically like, Mara's and Jeremy's on his channel, those should all fall under the same thing as well as mine. So I don't know.
Wow.
Yeah, you guys, welcome back, Flip. Yeah, I see your power went out.
The power went out and boom, just gone.
No fun.
Exactly. The dog, he's after Flip now.
Maybe. Good to see you, Ryan.
Hey, good to see you too, man. How you been?
Hanging in there, doing the quarantine thing, just like all of us.
Nice. I like the Soilo shirt. I haven't seen that in so freaking long. I have one somewhere in my closet. Yeah.
It's pretty nostalgic in a way.
It really is. It brings you back to like, when EVS was making Star Wars vids, just with the pencil, just shitting on Star Wars. Yeah, that's like, yeah, it really is. It's crazy.
True.
2 years ago, almost to the date, I think, because it was May 25th, I think, when Solo came out in 2018, if I remember right.
Yeah, like that. Yeah, around that area.
Absolutely.
Not many people that went and saw it, but
Yeah, true. No, I went to see it with my brother because for a while we were trying to see Marvel movies and Star Wars ones together. The only thing we ever do together was go see movies, and we went and saw that. And it's just like with The Last Jedi. He's like loving it, and I'm just like, God, this thing is horrible. It's like, how can you enjoy such trash? And he's like, oh, it's so cool. Look at that. Chewie's there. Oh, Darth Maul's there. I'm just like, okay. Yeah.
That is the only Disney Star Wars. Well, I guess I saw Force Awakens. Other than that, that's the only Disney Star Wars movie I've seen in a theater. Just because I knew no one was going to be there, and I wanted to wear my Soilo shirt.
That's the only movie I haven't seen.
Smart move.
At the theater.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Smart move. But real quick, so Teresa, do you have anything you wanted to comment with the bad dog stuff lately?
Well, absolutely. I am totally furious, and I had never even heard of Naughty Dog or even the game until this happened. So well done. You just got somebody that's incredibly never, ever going to ever even think of spending money on you. But it was very sad for me, because when I heard that so many people were getting these strikes, when Ryan did and Lethal, and just the helplessness that you feel, because you're at the mercy of YouTube. It's absurd how it's one way. You are guilty until proven innocent, and you can lose your channel. And it's not going to mean a darn thing to whoever these naughty dogs are, whatever, or their stupid game. They're going to be fine. But they could potentially really do harm to people for absolutely nothing. Makes me mad.
Well, and the thing is, for me, I feel like my situation is at least a little more reasonable for it to happen than everyone else's. Because I was scrolling through an article, and there were a few images for maybe 20 seconds of my 12-minute videos or whatever they were. Which every lawyer I've heard comment on it, and every lawyer that I've spoken to has told me that it absolutely falls under the guidelines for fair use. Now, with the fact that it's not released also goes into that fair use determination if it were to go to a legal proceeding in some sort of way. But the fact of what a percentage that it comprises of your video, the percent of whatever the copyrighted work is actually being used. So, one screenshot of a game that's like 30 hours worth of gameplay. And then the impact that it would potentially have on someone's experience of that thing. And, Neil Druckmann himself said in his own words that absolutely nothing compares to playing this game from beginning to end. So he may have shot himself in the foot a little bit if any of this stuff ever does happen to go to court, which I don't think it will. But.
No, most likely not. No. But Flip, I know you were reading up on some of the legal terms and stuff. Did you want to touch on anything with any of that?
Yeah, I did have a question for Ryan. And I saw your video where you were talking about being, stricken. You have a backup channel now. You want to tell us what that is again?
Oh, absolutely. It's so it's RK Outpost Live. I had just made it yesterday. I got over 300 subs already, so I do really appreciate it. But yeah, I made one over there. I'm going to start archiving my live streams there, and which I meant to do anyway, but I've just been kind of putting it off. Then I realized that I probably should get on that just in case. But yeah, it's just my logo with a live underneath it. So
just subbed you, man.
Yep, just did it.
Awesome, thank you guys. Yeah, it's linked in my channels, like on my regular channel. So if you have a tough time finding it, but yeah, I do really appreciate it, guys. I figured that was a good idea to start it up. Again, I don't think that I really doubt that I am going to go down. But you never know. If it did, I still have. This isn't my job. You know what I mean? Right. This is. I see that a lot in my comments lately because I have so many new people coming in with this like Naughty Dog wave. They're like, right. Bruh, just get a real job. I hope your channel gets struck and you have to get a real job. Listen, the number of people on YouTube. I hate to break it to anybody. The number of people on YouTube that can make enough money to supplement that like as income is a very small percentage, and that is definitely not me. I also live in Southern California, so that's 100% definitely not me. Maybe if I was living in like some maybe in like West Virginia or like something like that where the cost of living is relatively low, maybe I could figure out a way to do it, but nah, not here, not in San Diego. No.
Can't live in a shed or something.
Yeah.
Figure it out. No, Script Doctor, do you have anything you wanted to add to this?
Other than it's absurd for a company to just do like a broad stroke copyright claim on videos that are talking about their content, especially in the most, I guess, somewhat respective, even though it's critical. Like they're not trying to abuse it or not trying to exploit the leaks or anything of that nature from what I've seen so far. Just think it's very immature, and it's not going to bode well for the people that are running that company. As for the game itself, I'm not a big video game person, but I support anyone that's upset by the change in direction of the game, especially for reasons that are less than ideal or thoughtful when it comes to people. I don't like certain parading aspects that have been going on with some media. But I really hope that this thing kind of blows over. People are able to, still make their videos and make their critiques and analysis on video games without other companies trying to follow suit with what Naughty Dog's been doing.
Yeah, and it's like whatever your takes on the leaks, may be. Listen, there's people that have no idea, who've never played The Last of Us 2, who are now hearing about this simply because they went out of their way to try to silence everybody. Like Teresa, I don't think you knew what Naughty Dog was before a week ago, probably.
Nope, not a clue.
I didn't either. And I follow some game stuff, but not really. I don't pay attention to everything that happens with it. I thought Naughty Dog was like a code name for some dude that's on Twitter or something. It's like, yeah, Naughty Dog, so this is mischief again. That's what I thought at first, but.
Right, no. Exactly. So it's, whatever your thoughts on the game are and whatever got leaked, there are people with different opinions. Some people have said it and they said, I'm going to wait and, decide for myself. I'm going to play the game anyway, despite what I saw from these leaks. And that's fine. Go for it. There's other people who have said, I'm never playing this. I can't believe what they did. This is awful. That's fine. Whatever your opinion on that is, once you go and you start trying to silence everybody, then you galvanize people. You know, you galvanize people against, against the man, against Sony, against Naughty Dog, against people who are trying to hide. So
when they show the people, pushing the slaves around, or they push the citizens around, it's like they all start to notice, hey, kind of tired of that. Let's stop that. Okay, there's a lot of us. Let's stop it. It's
exactly
like the rally call. And it's like, are you asking to be taken over now? Like, or in trouble here? And it's like one of the things that I don't know if I hear this being brought up enough either. Is like a lot of people consider like geeks and gamers, nerdrotic bullshitters to be like super big YouTubers, and like compared to us and in this area, like covering these topics, yeah, they pretty much are. But on like the scale of YouTube, I assume there's like at least 1,000 people that have over 1 million subscribers, right? Like that have like humongous numbers. Like PewDiePie is in what? I have no idea how much he has.
Over 100 million.
Yeah, 100 million.
100 million. There's others that probably have 60, 70, 50, 40 million. And ones who have 1 million. Like that's probably over 1,000. Like that's a lot of big fish. Like really big fish. Right.
Well, let's go. I'm going to Social Blade right now. Let's go to Geeks and Gamers. So in terms of subscriber rank, Geeks and Gamers at 236,000 subs. They are the 86,977th largest YouTube channel. So there's almost 87,000 YouTube channels that have more subscribers than that. So and in the grand scheme of things, it's definitely not huge. That definitely feels like it to us, though, for sure.
Right? Like, what number are we? Like, when we go to it, it's like, oh shoot, that's a big. It's like Dragon Ball when the numbers of their power levels are like, they don't even bother doing the numbers no more. It's just they'll just be kabillion, nillion, jabillion, and no, just stop, stop. Yeah, so like when they say that like, oh, these YouTubers are using their platform for hate and these bad things and blah blah blah. It's like, is it that big? It's like it's impactful in one area perhaps, but it's like they act like you guys are destroying what's there, and it's like, no, if anything, you're just a loud voice that's making things known, or bringing your side of it out, and people can hear it. They don't like hearing it now. No, we don't want to hear it. Don't want to hear it. I don't know. It's just something that I've been wondering about, because like everybody's just scale. Like in scale, it's all relative.
Yeah,
much.
Yeah, it really is. And like to somebody, like I remember when I just started out, I was like 1,000. Like I want to get to 1,000, right? Then your goals just change. Your goals change as you go along. And then then a 10,000 subscriber channel seems enormous, and like you're never gonna get there, right? So it's all about kind of perspective.
I agree.
Rookie said something a minute ago about being heard. I feel good that even getting 1,000, for me, I just enjoy being able to do what I like. It's like you, Ryan. It's not my job. That would be awesome if it could be, but it's simply not. If it ever were, I would feel blessed. But I like the idea of just getting what I'm thinking out there, my ideology. And I enjoy watching all of you guys with what you think as well. It's confident and it's fun to watch. But earlier also, Rookie asked me about the terms of use. I wanted to ask you a quick question. Did you say you had 2 strikes or 1?
2.
2.
Yeah.
Okay. And now, from what I read in the terms of service, I believe it's 90 days. And then it just automatically resets.
Yep. So the way it works is if you get a copyright strike, if you feel like it's warranted, like if I just sat here and screen shared Disney Plus and played the entirety of The Rise of Skywalker or something from my YouTube channel, yeah, it probably deserved a copyright strike for sure. Boom, I get a copyright strike. It will stay there for 3 months. Now, if you feel, say I showed a screenshot from The Rise of Skywalker, say I showed like Palpatine's fingers looking burnt, and I was like, how in the world are you telling me this is not the same guy, that this guy suffered all this damage from the lightning, everything like that? you're telling me it's like if I'm critiquing it and talking about it while I'm showing the screenshot, and they still struck me for a copyright strike, then I'd say no, that I would submit a counter notification. That's what I did. So I'm notifying, I'm telling Muso TNT Limited, who's acting on behalf of Sony and Naughty Dog, I'm telling them that these are my reasons why I feel like this copyright strike isn't valid. And, you know, talk about fair use, talk about how it was transformative, talk about the length of time it was there, talk about, you know, the actual, you know, everything else in regards to fair use and fair dealings. Submit that. YouTube determines whether they feel like I gave a good enough reason or not. If I did, they send that notification on to the company. The company has 10 to 14 business days to file paperwork in a federal court to actually take me to actually pursue me legally for copyright infringement. Now, the vast majority, I don't know if I've ever heard of a case where the company actually went and did that and went to court, but that would be what they want to do. If after those 10 to 14 days are up and they haven't, YouTube drops it. It's like it never happened. The video goes back up and there's no strike.
I've never beat a claim. I mean, I've never not beaten a claim for music and stuff like that. Is this, say I put one out for Batman Begins, and I don't even remember who did that. Was that Sony? Whoever.
Warner Brothers.
I'm sorry?
Warner Brothers.
Warner Brothers, sorry. If are they the ones that would strike or claim personally, or is it YouTube?
For people who submit the claim?
Right.
It would be the owner of the copyrighted material. So in this case, since it's a Sony, well, since it's Naughty Dog, who is owned by Sony, it's Muso TNT acting on behalf of Sony Entertainment, who's submitting these claims. That's what they all say.
It's like the lawyer's office or something.
Yeah, exactly. It's just a company they hire to kind of protect their like their stuff that goes around and does it. So it's not actually them claiming it. That's how I understand it, at least. The problem is it gets so convoluted, and the way it works is that's the problem, is they're not having to show any proof of anything before you get a copyright strike, because YouTube's trying to play it safe. That's just their policy.
Yeah, which I found to be odd in the first place. I mean, I would think that when you are trying to make a claim, I've seen those videos where, like, when YouTube was promoting this, they're like, be some type of a warrior and, you know, take down flag videos that have horrible content or something, that have things that violate the stuff. So they're just like asking people to literally look for videos to flag. And it's like, do you think that when they started that thing, this was like from a couple of years ago, I think, when they had this, like that they would have parameters for when you flag somebody, you have to have reason, you have to show where it is, you have to maybe prove a source or see if it even shows a source, or if you can track a source to it or something, so you can't just be like, well, click the button, that's my day, striked you. Like, because it seems like almost anybody could just make some YouTube accounts and then just strike people down, and like they don't even get any penalty and things. I heard you guys talking about that too. I think it was on the Phantom Menace's channel for a little bit. Like, yeah, there should be some type of you know, backlash if their strike fails. Like they should get something, or you should get compensated in some way for having dealt with a strike for no reason.
Yeah, I agree, and I don't like it's hard. It is the potential repercussion would be, right, if someone would actually take them, because you could do that. You could be like, that's a false copyright claim. You're trying to abuse the copyright system. I'm taking you to court. But then you know, Ryan Kinnell, RK Outpost, is taking Sony to court. Like, what's that going to get me? Unless they like murdered my dog, you know, on camera or something. Like, how am I going to prove? Like, how am I going to fight this? How am I going to get enough, you know, stuff on my side? It's likely not going to happen, so it's not really worth it. But so that's a lot of people talking about class action. I don't see any reason. It's not worth that. That's the problem. It's not worth the hassle.
Right.
It's not worth all like the time that would drag out, especially for someone like me who hasn't really lost. You know,
I feel like if it was like PewDiePie got taken down like that, that's a humongous revenue source for him. That's probably his living, I imagine. It's like, you know, that would be extreme to the core. But no, I feel you on that. I imagine that you're nervous, but it's probably also a little exciting, right? A little bit. You're like, okay, well, what do I do here? Like, okay, it's like you're on the cliff edge on the thing. You're like, well, got one life left.
I don't know. I don't know if I would say exciting. I wouldn't say scared. That like first time I got like 2 there, I was like, dang, this is like all gonna go down. That's like how I felt the rest of the day. Ever since then, it's kind of just been like I'm anxious and I'm checking my email and my YouTube a lot more than I usually would. But there's nothing I can do. I keep putting up Naughty Dog videos, so I'm pretty confident though that like if my channel got taken down, that there would be enough attention on it and enough outrage and backlash from enough people that can make enough noise that some pretty I feel like I would be okay in the long run.
You'd be the Leonidas, death, and then that ignites the rest of the Greeks to come and help.
Yeah,
the call to arms.
Yeah, kind of, yeah. And I feel like I would be able to, recoup another channel fairly quickly, and if not, get mine restored, because I've heard that happen before. I've heard of people getting their channels terminated and them being restored somehow. Yeah,
that does. I think YouTube either has some type of a backlog that saves it for a temporary time, or they put it in like their recycle bin, I guess, and then okay, I guess you're fine, and we'll just put you back.
Every month they clear out. Every month they clear out all the shit.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. But if anybody has anything else you guys want to say on the Naughty Dog stuff, now's a good time. Anybody? Nope.
I'm also going to say we stand with the Outpost. That let's get this thing sorted. And if it doesn't work out, I'm Woodrow F. Call. I do not tolerate rude behavior. This is the ultimate of rude behavior, and the flower and her thorns will come out, and beware Naughty Dog.
Ooh. Nice. Listen, that is scary right there.
It's quite thorny. Yes. That's good. I guess, is there anything you'd want to tell people that are kind of discovering this for the first time and that are brand new and are maybe unsure about what they can even possibly cover with The Last of Us trailers just having dropped, and like them being worried about being stricken about anything? Do you think it was just because it was like pre-release stuff that wasn't supposed to and they were trying to strike, or what do you think so far?
Well, so if you don't know the whole situation, the brief overview is that about 7 to 10 days ago, I would say, The Last of Us got leaked. Like The Last of Us Part 2 got leaked. A lot of it got leaked online. An hour and a half of developer footage, including a bunch of cutscenes and things like that showed. And I'm not going to go into any specifics because I don't want this channel to get in trouble. But it basically showed a pretty shocking death of a character that that people are all really fond of, and it's at the hands of someone that you then go on and play for the last half of the game before potentially doing the same thing to another character. You're controlling that character and you kill another character. So, so it was just really bad. And it felt like a lot of people feel like the villains in this maybe are some sort of political messaging. Oops, hit my desk. Some sort of political messaging involved. And anyway, so people weren't very happy about it. A lot of people talked about it. Then what happened is they started striking, false copyright striking people's YouTube channels. Some for just showing brief images that had leaked out there to the world. You had places like, you had the big major media sites putting these images up. You had places like Bound in Comics, One Acre Gamer, places like that were also putting them up because they had got released. Regardless of how the information got released, once it was public, it was public. And it's free to criticize and report and comment on.
Yes.
So some people were showing images. Some people were just talking about it in specifics. Some people were just doing broad criticisms. Like so many of these people have gotten false copyright claims. And up to the point where I'm at 2 strikes. Lethal was at 2 before they rescinded his. Gaming with Geeks has a strike from my video. Jeremy has a strike on Geeks and Gamers from a live stream that I was on with him. And a bunch of other things just for talking about this situation. It's blown up massively. PlayStation turned off comments and the like-dislike ratio on their most recent Last of Us trailer that just dropped. Naughty Dog, Neil Druckmann, who's the director, writer of Last of Us Part 2, he put out a video on Naughty Dog that got ratioed to hell. People are not happy with what's going on.
Did it get over 50,000 dislikes yet?
Oh, yes.
Okay. That makes sense. Well,
you know something? We're part of a corporate marketing war. I know that sounds kind of conspiratorial or weird, but when you guys or Rookie or me, any of us get on our platform and start talking about something, they are obviously, I mean, we all know this since, at least for me, since The Last Jedi came out and Jeremy started going off on people, that it makes a difference. All of us as one voice makes an even bigger difference. And I could see where that would scare people. It's like when you tell me that they're turning off comments and everything on the PlayStation, I can just see those guys in the corporate suits going, "Oh, turn it off, turn it off." You know,
right.
we make a difference. And by the way, if you did get taken down, or Lethal or Jeremy or anybody for that matter, I know I'd be one person to stand up and say something about it too. So I think it's awesome, man. And I'm so glad that we're all together. I'm so glad you're here, Ryan.
Yeah, I appreciate it, guys, and thanks to Rookie for inviting me on. I can't really stay. I got a couple of things to do, and I got to get ready for this. My favorite time of the day, a Mario Kart stream on Twitch. Complete sarcasm. I hate it. But I really do appreciate it. I appreciate all the views, all the comments, all the likes, all the retweets. Everybody supporting. Whether you know anything about the situation, whether you cared about the leaks or not, it's nice to have so many people in your corner.
Yeah, no problem, man. We got you. If anything, I don't know about the video game at all. I don't care about it at all. But we got you, man. Got your back.
Yeah. All right. I appreciate it, guys. And you guys have been awesome. Good to talk to you, Teresa, Script Doctor, Flip, Rookie, and Chat. Hail the chat.
Chat's been great.
Yep. All right. And I'll talk to you guys later.
All right. Talk to you later, man.
Bye, Ryan.
Everybody go to Ryan at RK Outpost and subscribe. And if you want to follow him on Twitter as well, hell yeah.
Absolutely. All right. Thanks, man.
No problem. See you later. All righty. So I'll leave it up to you guys. Do you guys want to play some of the game now? Because we have a game that we could play, or we can shift topics into the Stormtrooper lady topic. What do you guys want to do?
Oh, it's your show. I'm game to go either way.
Yeah, it's your ball game, gentlemen.
Okay, I'll let the chat decide. I'm trying to read the room. So do you guys want to hear about? I'm pretty sure most people have seen Xavier's video. Teresa, you know a little bit more about it.
Yes, yeah.
If I saying his name right, Xavier's video, sharing it around about a woman in Canada who was wearing a Stormtrooper outfit for her store, right, and getting a police report called. You guys know this more than I do. I don't know this too much. Flip or Teresa, Script Doctor. If you guys know a little bit more about it, I feel like I'm fumbling it out. So somebody take over.
Yeah. Well, for sure. Well, Xavier, he put out the video and brought it to people's attention, because he lives in Canada where the incident took place. It was outside of a comic shop on May the 4th. One of the female employees was dressed in a Stormtrooper outfit, and that did include the plastic fake gun standing outside the comic shop. What happened was some Karens called and reported someone, with a gun situation. So the cops come along, and we see on the video that as they approach her, she obeys him. She throws away the gun. She puts her hands in the air. It was just absurd, because all he had to do was see comic shop, Stormtrooper. That was all that they needed to see. It's like, okay, it's a freaking costume. Maybe she shouldn't have had the toy gun because we're in Canada and we get triggered, but whatever. And then they even made her go down and put her face down, and that ended up bloodying her up. And you can hear her bawling her eyes out. She's wailing. And there's people there, the people that were in the comic shop, they're going, "It's a girl, knock it off. It's like it's a toy gun." And they were like, stand back. And they were like, man, that's a girl. It was terrible. Like I said, anytime they do that to anyone, but it was really bad optics. I mean, just this petite little thing, and she's crying her eyes out, and she obeyed. The second they said, put your hands up, she did. And then they took her away. And it's really heartbreaking. And I think that it's just a very good example of not having any common sense, that this mad world we're living in, that everyone is so friggin' dogmatic that they can't just see, okay, it's a comic shop, and it's a stormtrooper, and it's a toy gun. It's like, no, we don't like guns in Canada. It's like, yes, we know. So that's what I know about it.
I imagine that the girl doesn't want to dress up for Star Wars anymore after that.
Hope to the no.
In public anyway, jeez. Like, and if she put something to indicate that it's a toy gun, it looks stupid. Here's an orange or yellow strip on a stormtrooper's blaster here, kids. I don't know. What do you guys think, Script Doctor and Flipped Out?
Well, this took place in Lethbridge, Alberta, and it's not really a shining pinnacle of the province as a town. There are a lot of good people there, but it's had some history. It's my understanding that the police departments in that town have not been the best representative of their title and their responsibility for many, many years. I think they were a little excessive. Like, Canada has a stigma, which is basically like we're not so much anti-gun, we just don't care so much about it because we don't rely on that simple device to sort of ensure of our freedoms. We're more guerrilla in that sense. We'll stir some stuff
fight
up.
you with bare hand, strangle you,
or grab a hockey stick or a baseball bat or something. You know, pitchforks and torches are a lot easier to get a hold of and use en masse than something that relies on ammunition.
You don't need to reload a baseball bat.
Because in Canada, you can get like rifles and shotguns and permits and licenses to use them rather easily. It's handguns that are a big deal, and also a lot of Canadians don't really see a use for them in practicality. That's just like a thing across the board. Like, there's only a person in Canada wants like a military grade weapon. That's what a red flag, because like there's 35 million people in Canada. There's lots of hunting. You don't need to mow down a whole flock of deer or herd of deer to go hunting. And on top of that, even if you did, a lot of people in the area, not just the authorities, but like residents, would be really upset with that. So yeah, like that's our perspective of it. In this case here, the cops really were a bit more excessive, more reactionary to whatever call there was. When I've been living in Ontario or British Columbia, one thing that's been a habit is that any type of crime that gets reported, there's usually about, between 3 and 7 squad cars that show up. Like, a lot of cops are able to respond and get there. It's not always the quickest, but it happens. And mostly it's to get as many people in there to get as much information, collect as much data as they can, and also watch each other, because I know in British Columbia and Ontario, there are departments within the department that make sure a lot of cops are doing their job correctly. One of my best friends in Toronto is part of a task force where he does arrest cops that cross the line. A few years back in the city of Toronto, there was an officer who killed a boy on a streetcar because he was on drugs and he was brandishing a knife. He then rushed the cop, who then shot and killed the boy. But then after the boy dropped again, he shot another volley of bullets into his body, which is technically attempted second-degree murder. And second-degree murder definition was expanded on in Canada because of this, and he was arrested. He was then terminated. A long investigation occurred, and he is in jail for that. And one of my best friends was one of the guys that brought him in. Didn't have to go hunting down for him, because he thought he was the officer in question thought he was in the right, but he clearly did not rely on his training. Had he not shot that second volley, this would have been a non-issue. It would have been seen as self-defense and protecting the area, because a lot of people are on that streetcar. They rushed the heck off as soon as this kid brandished a knife, and he was on drugs and had some mental issues and whatnot. But we don't get a whole lot of shootings, even though they have risen over the last few years. I think we're still under 500 a year as for a nationwide, which is still pretty good, meaning that we're educating our people and making sure that they don't need to go to that level, and if they do, we'll catch them. That's the other thing too. I've been held up in Canada a couple of times, and usually within about 2 hours after I report it, they find the guy. He goes to jail, and then they find out where he got the gun and what have you. And most of the time, it's a toy gun. But if you want to get a gun in Canada, you can. It's just really hard and very expensive. So and how the police reacted in this situation is foreign, because usually, in cities at least, if a cop sees a cosplayer with a prop, they'll usually stop, talk to the person, ask them what they're doing, where they're from, what's going on, and if they see a threat, they'll respond appropriately by not really forcing them on the ground or anything, but saying, "Hey, come with me," or what have you. And if you resist, then we're gonna have an issue. When I was around your age, Rook, and I just came back from my first bout in LA, I started working for independent films, and there's a lot of guerrilla filming, and we were doing a couple of cop films, and we didn't have permits, but we did have set security. So you just get a couple of guys, they wear a white t-shirt that says, film security or what have you, and you shoot your scene around there, and the cops would come by frequently, and they would see one of our actors, one of my good buddies, who's a black guy. He had a couple of guns on him because he was a cop that just commandeered guns from the bad guys, and he's holding them as the cops are by, and he's just like freaking out. So he immediately drops them, but everybody kind of got around him to make sure that, in the event that we didn't get a good or respectful officer, he would be protected. But they were pretty much just saying, "Hey, what are you doing here? Oh, I see you're doing a film. Okay." Some people were concerned, but as we were driving here, we did our due diligence. We put up flyers saying, like, in this location, we're shooting a film. Please do not call the authorities on us, but if you have to, we put our information on there as well. Cops, when they were patrolling the area, they saw the flyer, they knew what was going on. They were, they did their due diligence, which is what we as, citizens of our country are asking and demanding of our police officers. Right. In this case, they did not do that. My understanding, it felt like they just weren't thinking at all, which is even more dangerous. So if you can't have an officer that can exercise a little bit of thought objectively, then they're most likely going to harm people as opposed to protect and serve, is what their creed is. So I feel for this girl. I hope she's okay. I hope an investigation is done, and I hope she's able to seek legal ramifications against those that abuse their responsibilities. And I hope she's able to use that money to move out of that town, so she can continue to be a fan of things that she loves without getting harassed by ignorant people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, very well said, man.
So say we all.
I hope she becomes a gun owner.
Yeah.
She might have a shotgun or a rifle.
Yeah. See, I could see the cops being worried, like, if they're like, "Oh shoot, she's got like an automatic rifle. We got to be careful." But it's like stormtrooper, and if you can't tell what type of gun, a blaster. I mean, I assume a blaster looks very different than a regular gun, right? Like, in comparison.
Yeah. However, there are some really weird science fiction looking weapons that the Pentagon has released over the past few years for their soldiers that look like something out of a video game. But the odds of you finding something like that in Canada are extremely rare.
With someone dressed as a stormtrooper. I mean, who doesn't know what a stormtrooper is?
Yeah, outside of
apparently some people in Alberta.
Yeah.
Outside of cavemen, right? That wouldn't know. Do you guys have anything else you want to add to this? Flip, I know you did a video on it today as well, or last night. Do you have anything else you wanted to add to the story?
I couldn't sleep. I think I uploaded that around 5 a.m. my time. I'm glad to hear that you guys feel the same. And listening to you, it feels good to know we're all feeling the same. As far as the poor girl is concerned, I don't know what Alberta gun laws are like. You're teaching me a little bit there, Script Doctor, that handguns are the thing they're mostly worried about. In America, more people are killed every year with knives than they are guns. Significantly more people die from knife wounds than guns.
Well, there's no waiting period for a knife, right?
Yeah, Boy Scouts have them.
Yeah, I mean, we don't want anyone to be killed at all, ideally.
Right. The goal is to have people not die.
Murder is bad.
Yeah, murder. We can all agree that murder is bad. And I have no problems with the United States' Second Amendment. I'm actually in favor of its interpretation prior to the Supreme Court ruling in 2008, because that previous interpretation put onus on the owner to learn training and to be part of some sort of militia that would ensure responsible care, and that militia would be looking out for the community as well. And also that militia, in the event of, say, a tyrannical government, is able to organize and help, restore the original foundation of your Constitution. When you give it to an individual, that doesn't need training or anything like of that kind of access, where they just make it as easy to get. I mean, if it is easy to get, I'm not 100% sure. I do know that as I visited there, people have said, hey, you can go to the store and buy a gun and you're good to go. And it's like, okay,
it's a longer process than it seems.
Yeah.
I think. It's not I'm just going to get one today with my groceries and here's my gun and we're good to go.
I mean, I have seen people pick up a gun while they get their groceries, but I think they went there a few days earlier first to get all the stuff.
There's a process that goes through and then they can pick it up, I think. I haven't had to get one, but I was with my buddy when he bought his first gun. So I barely know anything about it, but from what you're saying, that sounds like the intention of citizens having weapons is to unite a community, kind of to step up beyond just being a citizen, right? But not be a law enforcer. But is that kind of what you're getting at there?
My understanding is that it's the right to bear arms should not be infringed for those that wish to, exercise a maintenance of freedom, I guess would be the case, because like Canada was a colonial country, started up, on behalf of the monarchy and the United Kingdom, with French people as well immigrating over. The United States, similar, but then they fought for an independence. We negotiated our independence, and we're doing fine. But you guys had to fight for it, and lost many lives, sadly, as a result of it. So I understand the requirement to ensure that those rights and that freedom that you fought for doesn't ever go away, whether it be from a foreign invader or whether it be from someone domestic who has usurped the system and manipulated a lot of people to do something against the interest of the people. But the other part I think is missing is that there should be an encouragement for the education and the responsibility of what it means to have a weapon that can do such damage so quickly.
End of life.
Yeah, end of life. And basically saying, like, everyone has access, but there's a responsibility that's required to maintain that access. And I think that needs to be kind of considered and in place, because there are a lot of people out there who, the comprehensive gun laws that I've seen a lot of people want to support is like background checks, making sure they're mentally stable and, common sense things, saying that, yeah, we don't want a person who is quick to anger and irrationality to be able to take a life so quickly. That's kind of antithetical to the purpose of what the Second Amendment is. It's about defense, not attack. So yeah, that's kind of why I support the older version, when the current new one here has been a little bit abused, but not as much as some of the media has expressed. That I know. I've taken a look at those numbers, because I've had stories in assignment work where it's like, hey, yeah, let's do a thing about guns, and I'm like, okay, cool. And the other question I always ask is, if guns are so great, why is it always really bad when the bad guys are moving them, and buying them and distributing them, right? It's like, come on, you gotta think one or the other. It's all about the wrong hands, not the kind of self.
Because assault weapons are illegal, and like an AR-15 isn't an assault weapon. It just looks like it's
automatic rifle, right?
Yeah, but people think, oh, it's semi-automatic. Semi-automatic means as fast as you can pull the trigger, not pull the trigger and release the magazine. Like,
wait, so I think Uzi is an automatic, right?
It's the difference, and or something. Is that kind of difference, I guess?
Oh, I
I'm sorry
understand that
stupid terms, but
I also know that triggers are actually quite difficult to squeeze unless it's like a modified hair trigger or something of that nature. It takes a little bit of force, because I have shot a gun like on a range, and I'm like, oh, this is not as, it's easy to hold and it's easy to point and aim, but like You need to put a little effort to squeeze that trigger.
What was the gun?
I think it was a Glock.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Again, I don't know a whole lot about handguns. I know more about like rifles and machine guns and whatnot, because usually when you're writing stuff about war or whatnot, that's the information you get access to.
Good to do research.
Yeah.
Yes.
If I'm correct, it isn't just about any gun classified as a semi-automatic, because a gun that I have shot before on the range, a boyfriend, he way back when, he had a gun. I don't know what it was called, but it had a clippy thing in it, and so I just pulled, and it was a little handgun. So you would look at it, and you wouldn't think that it was semi-automatic, but I think that technically could be classified as that. And a lot of people think when they say, "Oh, we'll get rid of even semi-automatics," they're thinking it's something like that. It's like, no, they're even talking about a clip. And if you're a person, a woman, you know, because I'm a woman, defending yourself, a big old rapist comes in, and you have 10 bullets in your clip or something, that's the difference between saving your life and not. Because if it didn't have that, then the ability to release it and be overpowered would be there. And that's part of the reason why I'm such an advocate for the Second Amendment, because, like it or not, men are stronger than women. And I don't know why more quote unquote feminists aren't more for guns, because it's like that is the equalizer. It's like, so if someone comes at me with strength, I can't do a darn thing. With a gun, I can defend myself.
Yes.
We have a little device up here you can get at the dollar store, which is like a door alarm thing, but it's a high-powered sonic alarm. And as soon as you hear it, it kind of debilitates you for about 4 or 5 seconds. And I mean, it's perfectly like over-the-counter stuff, but you know, if you have that in your hand and you just get it near another person's ear and trigger it, which is quite easy, it's just a flip of a switch, you can knock a person down and pretty much gain the advantage over a fight. And my sister uses that because, again, we don't have handguns here. And luckily she hasn't been assaulted on the street, but she's been at a party where a guy got a little too familiar, and she used it on him, and it just, he cried from it.
But
like there are definitely non-lethal alternatives, because the other part too, I know, and I know this from some friends who live in Florida, where they've shot a person in self-defense and they still have nightmares because they shot, even though it was defense, I could have killed that person. How would I live with that on my hands? Because some people can't reconcile that action entirely, and you kind of don't want to put that burden on them either if they're not mentally able to justify that it's legal and it's self-defense.
Yeah, in that respect, and I know Rookie wants to show us this, I just want to say that in that respect, if I've been surrounded by 20 people, held at gunpoint, had my car destroyed, I've been mugged, beaten up, and for nothing more than just being a white guy. Not that I'm racist. I'm not racist. I have never been racist, and none of that has caused me to be racist. But in that position where I was surrounded by 20 people, there is nothing that I would have felt guilty about popping off a couple rounds in somebody. Now, I say that when in all confidence, knowing that I've never done it. I've killed animals, but eaten them, that's different. But I don't think that if you really feel your life is in jeopardy, that I don't think it would be a mental problem as much as being alive enough to deal with said mental problem and go to a psychologist, deal with it then. But I do, in that respect, agree that if you are going to hold a gun, have a license and everything, you should be prepared to use it. And when you get a gun, that is the idea. You go and get, lessons. You have to learn how to use it.
Oh, yeah. Well, not only that, the average accuracy rate, even for the most skilled marksman, is I think 15 to 20%, which is very low. And if you're, say, like just a punk on the street who has to get a gun, your accuracy is a lot lower than that. And I like I said before, I've been in situations where I've been held up and I, just acquiesced and let them take, my wallet or what have you. But I was in Canada, I would report it, they'd get caught, I'd get my property back, and that'd be the end of it. But in the United States, there was one part where I was in Northern California, and a gentleman who's a little younger than myself held me up, and he was maybe about a foot away from me. So I could grab him by the throat, and I didn't grab him by the throat. I just grabbed him by the wrist where he was holding the gun, and he couldn't get off around. And it was the dumbest thing I ever did in that situation. But I was not harmed. Someone was nearby. They called the police, and they also had to call an ambulance because I dislocated his arm out of fear. I had a lot of adrenaline.
Good move.
Yeah, I had to do the whole police report thing, do the statements, and all that type of stuff. And yeah, that's when I started learning more about how, if you have to be kind of careful about that sort of stuff. And whenever I go to like an Airbnb where I'm staying for a few weeks, or an apartment that I'm renting in the United States, I usually figure out the lay of the ground, so that if there is like a home entry, I can get myself in a position where I can keep myself or the people I'm with safe, or defend myself. Because the other part I learned is that most people that break into your home aren't armed, and if you are, the chances are higher that they'll get that weapon away from you and use it on you, is because they're also in survival mode. So yeah, there's no one answer for it. You just got to reconcile with your own personal skills, what you're all comfortable doing, and realize that sometimes the odds are either going to be in your favor or not, and that's just the way it is.
Yeah.
And I should also say that, as far as self-evaluation, that I have personally over the past 10 years reevaluated that I don't feel comfortable with the gun. So I actually personally no longer own a gun. I did at one time, but I haven't owned one for quite a while. And that's the other thing, is that what I like about the Second Amendment here is, I don't have to have a gun. And I made that evaluation myself, that I'm not comfortable carrying a gun or having a gun in my home. But if somebody does make that decision, then they should be able to do so without the government playing nanny to them. That's my humble opinion.
Well, that's the value of a responsible government, is the value of choice. So the one thing you want to make sure is that there's no compulsion, and then there's also no restriction. You also, and that comes with education, that comes with a strong community that's able to interact and socialize, and contribute to everyone's development, and make life easier for everybody in the way that they can. That's not self-inflicting in any way. Like you don't want to be a person that just gives everything you have to help other people and not have that reciprocated in kind. So you have to find a nice balance. But I don't know what's been going on over the last 35 to 40 years when it comes to education. It seems like values aren't being debated. You can't really teach values, but you can present them and debate them, and have people sort of form their own opinions, and sort of really like growing and asking questions that you otherwise wouldn't in any other situation. And I think that's where you can get rid of a whole lot of problems to begin with. I mean, it's not a one-all answer, but I don't hear, like, I have 7 godkids, and the youngest ones are in high school, and I remember talking to them about what they learn in class, and it's basic, math, English, a little bit of history, and that's about it. They don't ever have debates or discussions about ideas or anything of what it means to be an adult, and why we are in the situations that we are, and no playing around with like, hey, what can we do that's better, or what problems do you see that bug you that you want to talk about, and maybe like exercise out so that you don't have to worry about them later, or at least get a better understanding of them. You don't get that stuff in school anymore. And we also have issues where teachers are being hired straight out of college, so they haven't any experience in the world outside of a school environment, and so they take that school environment with them as they teach the students, and it kind of sort of creates a vicious cycle of immaturity under a mask of fake maturity. So
at the district that my mom works for, they kids can now have preferred names on their record, like on their school record. So Script Doctor, you want to be called Jenny now? They can do that.
I don't.
They just
wait. They have to suggest the name first, or they'd be like, "Oh, you can be called Jenny now."
Teresa, you want to be called You want to be called J Dog or something?
Oh my gosh.
Your dreams can come true. And records have to sort it out, and you can change it more than once. The whole thing was for people that are trans or something that can have so they don't get traumatized by their old gendered name or something, but they made it a blanket thing for everybody, so it's not excluding anybody or something. That's like, okay,
well, that's when you have abuse of compassion. That's abuse of compassion,
I guess.
Yeah,
no, it really is. You want to be compassionate, respectful.
Okay,
for those
I was trying to figure out what that means. Abuse of compassion.
Yeah. It's basically saying, okay, I'm compassionate about this person that's going through a change or a struggle or what have you, but I'm also going to now start kind of encouraging that behavior more, as opposed to it being an honest and genuine response to a person that has something they want to do or get through. It's just weird. It's like weaponized compassion. Like when a mother bear sees someone going near their cub, they want to protect that mother bear, and they'll maul the hell out of you to do so. And from one perspective, it seems like blind violence, but the other part, it's her protecting her cub. And it seems like that mentality is kind of going a little bit crazy on the human side of things, where it's not even like the parents getting involved, it's people who have no relation or impact on another person's life doing such behavior on their behalf without even asking if that's what they want.
Right.
It's very strange.
I can give a better example. In my middle school, before this, it was my last year at the middle school, and they had a new dress code. So there's typical dress codes around the state or around the country anyway, where guys aren't supposed to wear like the armpit shirts, and girls aren't supposed to wear super short shorts or super revealing tops or something. But they changed a thing to where you can only wear 4 colors: white, black, gray, or red. And they had to be solid colors. They cannot be, they can be stripes or solid, but they can't be like with the logo or images on it from anything. Because they believed for some reason that people's clothes were distracting and were causing people's grades to fail and people to exclude other people from activities or something. And
I thought those would be like to avoid gang colors.
No, but that actually had nothing to do with it. And then when they did it, they thought that people would be nicer with each other. Like, oh, look, we're all wearing our shirts or something. We can all be friends. I don't know. They thought everything would be all nice and smooth. Most of the parents didn't even know that this was a thing that was happening. But the parents that did know were able to vote, and those ones voted for it. And so it wasn't a majority vote of all the parents. It was the 20 parents that knows 11 voted yes, pretty much.
Oh yeah, like how the scientific community voted Pluto not a planet, but it was only 6% of them that voted.
It's like, I hate it when they're like, oh, the total voted, everyone. It's like, no, but you didn't let everyone even know to be able to be a part of it in the first place. So of that group, yeah, that many voted for it, but not everyone. So but as soon as that happened, nobody changed. No kid was different. If somebody was they thought also that people would make fun of kids for their type of clothing or if it's more expensive. That was never a thing. And if that was a thing, they'd make fun of them for something else. Pretty much nobody changed. What that it was like, okay,
yeah, that's some of the case. There are schools in Canada that were like that. They have a dress code and school uniforms, and just forced people to be a bit more creative with how they judge people they didn't like, which is better for the human soul. It's like, I'm not just going to make fun of you for your clothes because that's lazy. I got to actually get to know you first before I start insulting you, which is what I'm kind of for.
It's not.
But the other part too is it's just 6 to 8 hours a day where you're wearing the school uniform, and a lot of kids, once they get out of school, they change their clothes, they go dress however they want to dress, they hang out, they go to parties, they interact. The
parents were pissed because they all had to buy a bunch of solid clothes. Nobody had solid clothes.
I disagree with that. Democratic socialism. It's everyone has to be the same so that no one's comes across better than somebody else. I understand the idea of it being good for the soul and everything. There's a lot of things that are good for the soul. Doesn't mean that I need to be like everybody. Individualism and freedom, at least that's what I've been taught up until my kids started, getting in high school and such, and all these SJWs and leftist extremists started taking control of our industry, I didn't even realize that things had changed. It hit me like a 2-ton heavy brick, and I don't feel like having a school uniform is healthy in any way whatsoever, except to just make more sheeple.
Pretty much.
Well, the mentality from the teacher is to say you're wearing this to sort of unite and be all the same. That's one thing, because that's kind of infringing on a person's part. But most of the cases where they have a school uniform, it's for basically brand recognition of the school. It's to make things easier on the students with regards to their launndry, because the school uniforms are so.
I was about to say, yeah.
we weren't
a
exactly.
little bit different, and because they've been around since since they were hanging out in the cathedral schools back in the 9th, 10th century. So
since the foundation of school where they had to, they've done it. But the other thing too to kind of remember is that a lot of the schools that do impose a uniform are actually really open to interpretations of how they can wear that uniform. And also when they have things like formals, dances, and whatnot, you're not compelled to wear the uniform there. You're encouraged to, dress up, have fun, and what have you. It's more of a mentality of like getting into the habit of presentation for being mature and professional, as opposed to indoctrination. Like that's what the uniform is for.
That's different intention.
Okay, if you're going to go to work for a job in an office, you're expected to represent that company. So we want to get you into the habit of understanding the responsibility of fashion and responsible fashion, not something where you're being unnecessarily provocative or what have you. It's like do that on your own time, but if you're in a workplace environment and you're a representative of that, you have to, represent the company, and you want to make sure you're able to interact with clients and customers and whatnot. And at school, it's basically like you're here to learn, and we're going to try and teach you some extra values about the real world that you won't actually normally get.
But they don't even teach you anything about the values. They just have you dress up like that.
And
they
don't.
They don't teach you anything valuable.
Well, when I was in high school, we had a number of women who developed faster than everybody else, and they started wearing shirts with holes cut out around the cleavage area. And these are 13 to 16-year-old girls, which and there was never an excuse with regards to it being a distraction for the boys. And they're saying it's not appropriate for someone who is not of legal age to be dressing in a provocative manner that way. That was their term. It's like, listen, you want to do this, be 18. Like that. That's
right.
What they
that
said.
makes sense. I had a science teacher that hated. I had a science teacher that hated when girls would like wear even like jeans with holes in them all the way, or just something like that. He'd make them put on like a lab coat thing. He's just like, I don't care. There's too much skin. Just stop.
We had no issue with the holes. It's basically like the provocative nature of it. It's like saying, listen, you're here to learn. You're not here to mate. Wear what you want, but wear something that's a little bit more age appropriate. We had this one girl that wore like this really tight black dress thing that you normally see at like a ballroom or something, and it was like she was gorgeous in it. But it's just not something you want to learn calculus in or can go to gym class wearing. Like it's just not age appropriate for a teenager to be wearing something that you want to see your spouse or your girlfriend when you're in college or an adult wearing. It just doesn't compute. So and I also think it's good to give a little bit of discipline to children, so that to say like, listen, understand it now, so that when you get older, you can do what you want, but you have an understanding of the responsibilities why we did this. It's not so much to oppress, it's just to sort of refine the strength and muscles of your own personal values, like what is important to you. If you really want to dress this way, let's make it worth it by saying like, you can do it once you're 18, because then it's all on you. It's your parents aren't technically legally responsible for you at that point. You're not going to be doing anything that's going to and even for guys like this, we had this one guy who he refused to wear a t-shirt because he had like a good chest and abs and whatnot stuff, but he would wear body paint, and he'd go to school wearing body paint on his shirt and stuff like that, because he wanted to show off his muscles and everything. And the teacher's like, no, you can't do that. You got to put a shirt on. Especially when it hit November and it was getting cold out. He's like, listen, for your health too, you got to put a shirt on.
Common sense.
And that's kind of where you want to do. You got to also redefine what common sense is nowadays.
I wouldn't go as far as a school uniform, obviously, but I get the idea of, children. I've got 3, of course, 2 of mine are adults now, and one of mine is still just started high school. But I don't want her, my youngest, dressing provocatively at all. She's 15 almost, and that would upset me. But I think a lot of the problem is that parents don't take enough. I don't think they take enough time, make enough effort with their children anymore. They let the schools teach them those values, and the school's not doing very well at teaching values. They're, as a matter of fact, teaching extremist liberalism. And you could make the argument, Script Doctor, that, well, by putting them in a school uniform, it teaches them, because I've seen some of these freaks dressing at these colleges, with the tattoos and body paint and colored hair, and it is distracting to me. But I think you could also say that having them, their parents teaching them this sort of lesson at home is where they need to learn it, to dress with respect to their own bodies and learn the values which they are projecting through what they wear. I think that needs to be done at home, personally.
I would agree.
Yeah.
It would be
The only
great
problem is-
it'd be great if parents were able to have the
I'll tell you
time
how
to
many
do that.
kids I have that don't have parents.
What's that?
Parents aren't raising their children. I mean,
parents that aren't raising them. Oh, that's a good point.
I'm just saying that.
Yeah.
In a perfect world, yeah. If there are any parents, I can tell you stories that'll just break your freaking hearts. How many children literally are either not living with their parents, or their parents are not with them, and they're dead, or they never knew who their father was, and it's devastating. I've had stories.
So,
yeah.
My youngest I adopted. I know exactly what you're talking about, and it's sad. And I'm just glad that at least there are some out there that are adopted as opposed to killed in the womb. But you're right; you make a strong.
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Well, I mean, that's why I think formality should be taught at schools, but not all the time, I suppose. As having them specifically wear something only, but at least. Just as I think they should teach you a little bit about taxes, they should teach you how to dress a little too. If you're going to be formal at a job or something, you're just going to go out in public. Instead of wearing your pajamas around, you technically could, but it'd be a better impression if you didn't. But at least
I also find someone that goes kind of crazy with the colored hair and the abusive and all the tattoos and whatnot. It's like you've got an identity crisis, though, fellow. It's one thing to express yourself, but you're kind of doing it on a superficial level. And I think what people how they develop more, especially people in fandoms who may have been considered outcasts when they were around kids going to school, they have more refined and more interesting personalities because they've had to reflect on the things that they like and what they do, as opposed to just following the trends of conventional expression of getting a piercing, getting a tattoo, wearing designer labels, or what have you. And yeah, I think the choice should be what's more promoted, as opposed to a normal this and only this type of action.
Right.
And I think that comes down to the responsibility of what we can do as adults, as children, as parents, and also being able to find time so that we can partake in those values. Because that's the one thing. I have 7 godkids. I've been a godfather since I was 16 years old. So, and my friends needed help raising, their kids. It wasn't just the grandparents; it was everybody, because we all loved each other. We were all close, and if they didn't have any of us around, they wouldn't be able to do it. And that's just the truth. And it was very much like a village raising these people.
Yep.
And I learned a lot about that. And I think we don't have those types of communities as frequent as we could. And on top of that, I think we need to worry about the value of our money, make it more valuable as opposed to just arbitrarily saying everybody should be making more, which would be nice in a perfect world. But we also want to make sure that, you know, a dollar can buy more than just, you know, 20% of a can of Coke or something. Like you gotta, there's some issues that need to be kind of reconciled on that front. And I don't know where to begin on that, but yeah, and that's just.
Yeah. Oh, don't get me wrong. I agree to a certain level, you know, about looking appropriate at school and how that reflects on your future business life. I agree with that much.
Yep.
Oh yeah, I don't think there's any issues in that part. I think the only time you should probably question like the compulsion of a uniform is what are the motives behind that, right? So again, if it's a motive that doesn't look like it's going to negatively impact an individual, like if as long as it's not like something from Orwellian, I'm kind of fine with it because it still allows the person to have a choice outside of whatever, like the school or the job that they're in. Like the Orwellian's like, no, you got to wear this 24/7. It's like, yeah, that's a bad thing. But 8 hours a day, you're working either in a retail job or an office environment or what have you. It's like, yeah, make sure you wear pants and a shirt and stay warm, and you're good. But when we're doing presentations and stuff, now please, you know, get a dress, get a suit. It doesn't matter, man or woman, like they both can work.
Right.
But you know, just basic stuff. But I don't ever want any authority that we as the people put in power to overstep that authority, because that's the antithesis of why we're trying to have a government. I don't think it should overstep its bounds. I think it should be as responsible as it can be, but that comes down to the people we elect and how we raise our children to be responsible on its own. So sorry for taking that a little off topic.
It's all good. It's all good. I was gonna bring it back to the gun thing real quick, and then we can switch up in a sec. So like we're talking about ways to protect ourselves without having to, you know, kill somebody over it. You mentioned that sonic thing you can have at the door.
Yeah, it's a door alarm.
that reminded me of when I was in high school. I had to do research on something, and I stumbled upon a ray gun that the government developed. It's not like a Nazi zombies ray gun, but it's like it's supposed to be like a crowd disperser type of thing. That's like it like shoots concentrated heat or something at you, and like when it gets to your skin, it like makes something boil with you, and just a type of thing where like you just got to get out of the way, and like it heats up your cells or something. I don't know exactly.
Oh, like a microwave.
Something like that, but like not to where it damages you. Like if you were to stand there and somehow take it for a really long time, yeah, that'd probably damage you. But it's like the point is like it's that trigger, it like to I gotta get out of the way, you know. So
like a nasty sunburn,
something like that. So if there was some type of mini weapon like that for women to, you know, fend them off or something, that'd probably be a good one. You know, putting it on.
Someone invented the Star Trek phaser. Someone invented the Star Trek phaser with a stun setting. There'd be a lot more uses of it, but a lot less issues as a result. Also, it'd be really fun because I think people would like the idea of lasers more than projectiles they can't really see. It's like you just hold that laser button, you just, you know, you see the laser, you're like, yeah, there it is.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Hell yeah.
And to know that it doesn't actually like kill a person, but you could just annoy the hell out of someone by constantly stunning them.
Yes. I'm not killing you.
Wars where it's a circle coming at you, like a blue circle. Kind of cool.
Blue circle, blue beam, whatever. Yeah, I think it'd be. Yeah, I think it'd be funny, but heavily abused.
Oh, it would be definitely.
I'd be down.
All right. So before we go to our game that we're gonna play in a few, we're gonna ask you a couple last second questions down here. So, so Teresa, what is your future goals for your channel?
Well, I've got a very short-term goal right now. I am now at 289 subs, and I would love to get to 300. Yes, before this quarantine's over. So that's one of my goals, to continue doing that. Continuing to expand a little more beyond some different themes. I've been following a lot of diary kind of situations with the quarantine, and I've been having a blast with that. But you know what? Quarantine's going to end, so I'm looking to do more book discussions, more discussions and panels about TV shows. I'm putting together some of the old gang from Once Upon a Fan for some Once Upon a Time. streams. I'm also getting myself an Xbox One tomorrow. It's coming in the mail, and I want to do some gaming.
Oh, what games are you looking at?
Well, the game I got, Skyrim.
Skyrim, that's a very popular one. That's a good single player role play.
Yeah, and I'm doing Portal 2. So those are the two ones I'm looking at right now. And I'm always open to suggestions. So
Okay. I don't know right now because I haven't played a game in a while, but they make so many copy type of games that aren't that fun, that just improve a little bit and then take away something like Assassin's Creed 10 or something they have. But you have an Xbox One. Halo 5 I don't recommend. I don't know anymore with those.
Yeah.
Definitely. Which one's that? Oh, Battlefront 2.
Oh, Battlefront 2. Oh, is that the one that everyone doesn't like, or some people?
They didn't like on the first release, right, Flip? But then what happened that get them start liking it again?
Oh, at first they had this whole like they were selling the to upgrade your characters you could buy, and instead of grinding and getting like the next level of character who can get this gun, you could just buy it, online. And it was really wrong for people who could afford it. They could instantly be at the top level, and all the other people who were broke. And also it was baiting young kids to, get mommy's credit card and run it up. And it was evil, actually. It was really,
it was the microtransactions, right? And there's like gambling kind of with it, because you could buy a thing that gets you a random thing, so the kids want to spend to see what they get, and all the time in their game. And usually in games you earn it, or you discover it. You, by searching the map, you find a thing that led here, which you wouldn't have been figured out otherwise. Now it's like, no, just buy it. No, exactly. And like Skyrim, actually, you have to explore to find things, right? So with this, it's like, no, just buy stuff. It's like, oh, but I think they fixed it, or they added features that made it better at some point. So now people kind of like it, and it has the best graphics. That's all that I knew it had, was the best graphics.
Oh, fair enough.
Oh, it's turned out to be quite a good game. It's the only real game that's ever gone from completely hated to really loved. Yeah, I think you'd like it.
Interesting.
Yeah, I do recommend Battlefront 2, the original Battlefront 2. That's for Xbox and Xbox 360. I feel like that's a lot more fun in general, the type of game settings that they have, but I don't think that it's backwards compatible for an Xbox One at the moment. I think it only plays on 360 or on Xbox. So unless you got one of those.
No, they did an update, I think. I can't say for sure, but I know that a lot of the old Xbox games are, if not, in fact, not most of them are backward compatible on the Xbox One. Unfortunately, there's one game that I still have from the original Xbox called Obi-Wan, and it's not backward compatible, yet I still have the game.
But you can't do nothing with it. It's useless.
Yeah.
Coaster for you now.
Pretty much.
That's funny. But Script Doctor, what about you? What is your future plans with your channel?
Getting back to making videos. I haven't been doing it for the past month because I've been getting some assignment work, and I had to write a cartoon pilot that I was supposed to submit Friday, but I was told Sunday afternoon that I only needed to do a treatment. He changed his stuff on it. So I don't have to rush that part anymore. So I've already submitted the treatment, and I'm going to be working on that script here and there. But I want to get back to making a little bit of videos. I want to finish up the Batwoman series, and then I've got a whole bunch of other plans. Like
so are you been reviewing it lately, and you got more to review, or?
Well, I've done the first 7 episodes of Batwoman, and I'm gonna finish off the rest. I know it's painful, but the interesting aspect with that show is how there are a lot of writing issues with it. So I just pick one that I haven't talked about before with Batwoman and make that the focus of the video, and go through finish off the series. And then I've got like how I'd rewrite a Terminator, the third Terminator film to like close off the series. For the past few months, I've been editing and re-recording my how I'd do Captain Marvel video based off of a voicemail rant I gave myself after I saw the premiere. because I
cool.
really despised that movie and missed opportunities that it had. And I'll probably be doing a guide to superheroes where I take a look at some DC and Marvel heroes and go to their origins and find the core of their character and explain why it's not as difficult to write certain superheroes like Superman or the Flash or what have you as some people profess, and here's why. And I'm not going to be an authority on it, but I'm just going to give my guide of how you can kind of always fall back on if you feel like you're writing the character and it's getting away from you. So I'm going to be working on that especially if this quarantine goes on another few more months. So I'll have the time to do it, which I think it is, unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately, but I'm looking forward to that stuff that you got going, man. I love creative writing with that, like how you do something, and your reviews on Batwoman, man. I got to watch some of those because I'll say I wouldn't want to watch the show, but watching people's reviews of the show are pretty entertaining, depending on who's doing them.
Yeah, I think my review of the pilot's probably the best one on a creative aspect because I do some actual rewriting in it.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing that happened is that it's because the show keeps building off that pilot and keeps making other mistakes. It's like I can't keep rewriting the whole series. So
Right.
I'll just point out, the missed opportunities, the silliness. Like they have a character who's like a district attorney who parks right beside a fire hydrant, and I'm like, no DA would do that. Like it's breaking the law.
I've heard EFAP, Mahler, and them covering it, and like she lets the villain go like 50 times and then she goes and kills people. Like
she's
kill
actually a villain. If you watch it with the perspective that Batwoman is the villain and not the hero, it makes more sense.
Exactly. Yeah,
so,
I know.
Yeah.
I agree.
I do have to check out the Mahler stuff on that. I've only seen The Force Awakens, I think the first 2 parts, and I think he has a 3rd part. And then I saw his Last Jedi thing, and those were great little video essays.
Yeah. His mini ones, his coverage of Batwoman are like those are about an hour long each, and he's covering that with friends, kind of watching it as it goes and commenting. So it's not as long as the other ones, but still. So there's that. I recommend those. And the Flip. But before we go to the next card games, did you have any questions you wanted to ask the guests?
Nope, guys. I love your channels though, and I love your new name, Teresa.
Thank you.
Yeah, I've said it to Rook and a couple other people. Penny at Jet Penny told them I like that you changed the name because it's just more unique and everything.
Oh, well, for sure. And that was kind of the decision. I originally wasn't even going to be having a YouTube channel. So, and then as I started to get into it, I was like, yeah, now's the time. Well, thank you. I definitely appreciate that. And I'll pass that on. My friend Xevious, he helped me with that, and he did the logo and everything. So he does a lot of good work with that. So thank you very much. I appreciate you letting me know.
Of course.
Yeah, we're going to get you to 300 now. And then you should do a watch party of 300 or something.
That's clever.
Rookie?
Yeah.
It will happen. Get me to 300 and we'll do a watch party of 300. There we go. How's some bribery there for you?
Sounds good. I'll be there for it if you need me.
All right.
That sounds good. But without further ado, we're going to be closing out soon, guys. But before we close out, we thought it'd be kind of fun to play a little game. A lot of people have played Cards Against Humanity, and this is basically a clone game of that called Decks Against Society. And we won't be able to share the screen while we're playing it, but we'll still be able to tell you guys what it is and then give our responses. So it'll be the same old silliness regardless as we do this. So are you guys ready?
Ready.
Yes.
You guys are ready. So, Script Doctor, it doesn't say that you're in the room here yet.
It says I'm AFK. Let me refresh this here.
Here, let's all refresh because this is AFK on mine as well.
There we go.
Okay. It says I got flipped out, Miss Martin, and myself in here. I don't see you on there. Click a card. See if if you come up after that.
Okay. All right, so I clicked a card. And it's like you are the czar. Pick the cards you like best.
Oh no, you're not in the same group. I don't think. Go back out.
Okay. Let's go back out to.
And probably scroll down until you see the Nerd Blast and the Rookster. And sorry, chat, with that, we're just getting all set up here for some last little fun here. It's a pretty fun game. It's like apples to apples if anybody played that, but a little different. And yeah, but there's a password to get into it. Did you have to do a password?
Yes, I don't know what the password is. Is it my password or? No.
I'll text it to you, or I'll just say it anyway. If people join, they join. So it's like capital H, and then it's high 1. So it's with the capital H at the front to get in. Because otherwise, I think you're just watching it.
Is there a space in there?
Nope, it's all one word, high 5, and it's spelt 5, and then the number 1.
No, it's not saying anything.
Here, I'll see if I can
put it in the private chat, and I'll copy and paste it.
Okie dokie. All right, you guys talk about something for a second. I can't do this. Yeah, if you guys flip, I know there's
Midnight Sun being released. Everybody.
What was that?
Oh, Midnight. You said talk about something. Midnight Sun being released. Am I the only one who's really excited? Yes, I probably am. The final Twilight book.
Oh, it's a Twilight. I'm like, is that like a food? I'm just kidding.
No. 12 years. She was going to release it 12 years ago. And then somebody leaked it. And instead of just going, okay, someone leaked it, she said, that's it. I'm not even publishing it. And people like me were going, no, why? And we were mad and bitter. And I was mad at her for years. And she's finally going to release Midnight Sun, the story from Edward's point of view.
Okay.
And I'm not ashamed to admit I'm excited. And she's going to make probably more money than any of us will for the rest of our lives just over that. So it's enough to make you cry in more than one way. But
something went wrong.
Yeah, I saw that.
I cursed you by talking about Twilight.
Exactly. Twilight. Yeah, so you start talking Twilight, you make them run away. Of course.
When maybe one day one of your characters needs to sparkle, Rookie.
That's too messy. Too messy. A little too messy.
Yep,
there we go.
Look, I can't do that.
But yeah, okay. Now the script doctor's joined us. So yeah, pick a card. So for everybody in the chat, Czar, I'm not going to explain the whole rules. You'll kind of get it as we go. So there's a random selection of these cards that I made myself, and it's a basically fill in the blank. And each player has cards that can fill in that blank. There's a call and a response. The call is, congratulations, you can make your own Sith Lord for Lucasfilm. The name is Darth Blank. And each one can pick their selection. And shoot. I think, oh my God. It's not letting me pick anything here. Okay, you guys are loading.
Is it because you're the czar?
So it's loading on your end, Flip. I think it's waiting. Like I saw a green dot happen on the script doctors and then Miss Martin's, and it has a red dot next to yours.
Next to, oh, I see that. Weird. You want to refresh, maybe?
Maybe that might help. This is waiting for player.
Yeah, because I went ahead and I submitted it.
Yep, I saw that, but I'm not able to click on them quite yet because they should just reveal. So, in a moment, we should be able to do this, guys. We'll have this knocked down in the future, but we're getting this down for right now.
Difficulties.
It's a fun game. We promise. We promise. Yeah, because it's just loading weird.
Should I pick a card or something?
Yeah, did you not pick a card yet?
No. I'll pick one. Let's see.
Okay, yeah. There we go. Now we got it. Okay, so so I don't know who chose any of these options. So the point is that it's random selection on my end. So I don't know which one of you guys picked which things. So I'll read it again. So congratulations, you can make your own Sith Lord for Lucasfilm. The name is Darth Kathleen Kennedy. Is one option. Or congratulations, you can make your own Sith Lord for Lucasfilm. The name is Darth Animal Costumes. Or congratulations, you can make your own Sith Lord for Lucasfilm. The name is Darth Lucasfilm. and then so since I'm the czar, I'm the card holder, I get to pick which one I like the most. I like the Lucasfilm most. and whoever picked that one gets a point. That was flipped out, so flipped out got a point. With that. And now the next one is 2 + 2 = blank. Is the call, and then we get to pick our next one, and oh boy, we can pick some fun ones. 2 + 2 =. There we go. And then submit. And then Flip, when you get them, you can read them out loud.
All right. It's not letting me pick that one, so I guess someone picked that one.
No, you don't get to pick one yet. I think you're the czar. You have the thing next to your head.
Oh, okay. So it says waiting for players, so somebody needs to choose.
Did somebody click submit?
Okay, yeah, mine wasn't. I had to refresh because it wasn't working because they suck. Okay, there we go. There we go. Okay,
so,
got it.
God dang, bro! Oh my God, can you guys see all these?
Yes.
All right. 2 + 2 = Jizz Soda. 2 + 2 = Soy Boys, and 2 + 2 = Super Succulent Strawberries. I like the strawberries. I'm gonna go with that.
That was pretty good, and that was Script Doctor. He got the point there.
Cool.
Yay!
And, Miss Martin, you're the czar this turn, so why don't you read the call here?
Wow. As I was spying on her through her window, watching her sleep, understand that that's not my preference, but I will. Well, I noticed she had a big old.
This is why the sentence would be funny. That's why I put it.
Bro.
Oh my gosh. So then we can
and of
pick
course,
our.
this is the one I had to read, right?
The woman on the panel, yes,
Oh my
definitely gets to do it. A big, so yeah. So she noticed a big old blank. What's a good one? Oh, there's a couple good ones. There we go.
I already know the one. Someone's already taken the one I'm probably gonna do. All right.
So, I'm not sure if we get any duplicates in the thing for it.
Yeah, someone's already taken that one. You devils, you.
I'll have to find a way to share some of the screen because I don't want to share all of it because then you can see my cards. But if I can share some of it, then people can kind of see what we're looking at. Like at least the call, so they can get the juke. So waiting on one more player.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Did you click the submit card after you click it?
Oh, I didn't.
Yeah, because you click the card and then there's submit card. So this will be a fun one for you, Teresa. From the
thank you, rookie. Thank you, rookie.
I'm sorry.
The website is sexist.
If you want me to say the answers, I can, but you got to read it out again.
Okay, yeah, there's probably only one I'll be able to read. Okay, as I was spying on her through her window, watching her sleep, I noticed she had a big old
ass blaster.
Okay. As I was spying on her through the window, watching her sleep, I noticed she had a big old
stanky pussy.
Okay, and I'll do the last one. As I was spying on her through her window, watching her sleep, I noticed she had a big old Ryan Johnson.
That's good too.
Yep, and then you pick your favorite.
I mean, objectively speaking, probably with the question, this one would be the correct answer.
Yes. You are correct.
Objectively speaking.
Objectively. I agree.
I salute.
All right, Script Doctor, you're up to read it.
Okay. I just thought of the perfect name for the brand new church in town. Let's call it the Church of Blank.
That's a good one. Now, there's so many good options I could do this here. So many.
Wow, this is incredible.
Okay. I'll do that one. I'll use this card for now. There we go. There we go. There are some movie stuff in here, guys, somewhere, but it's mixed with the slightly dirtier one. So
oh my gosh!
We'll get them around.
Okay, so I just thought of the perfect name for the brand new church in town. Let's call it the Church of Boobies Booty. I just thought of the perfect name for the brand new church in town. Let's call it the Church of Whitey.
Yeah. There's already those. It's called hockey or something.
Yeah, I think it is. I just thought of the perfect name for the brand new church in town. Let's call it the Church of Britney Spears.
That's an oldie. Do people even know who she is now?
Well, I guess she's like, what, 40 now?
I have no idea.
Oh, that makes me feel old.
I'm feeling ancient now.
I'm still young and I'm a baby.
I've made my pick, and that was I don't know who.
Yeah, I think that was
Miss Barton. Yeah.
Oh, that was me. Yeah, well, yeah.
All right.
Cool.
I like that. This is pretty fun. So I think the total points is 6 to win. So my turn. So in the woods there lies a tree that what? Oh, I wrote it weird. In the woods there lies a tree of blank that are oh so succulent. In the woods there lies a tree of blank that are oh so succulent. Trying to give it a voice. Oh, this will be fun. I'm glad.
My God.
I'm so glad that I wrote these options for answers. Oh my God. So in the woods there lies a tree of panties that are oh so succulent. Or in the woods there lies a tree of women on their period that are oh so succulent.
Oh, that's so disgusting.
In the woods there lies a tree of blank that are of 99 bitches that are oh so succulent. These are all excellent answers.
Yeah.
The one that made me laugh the most, though, was the middle one. So it's the period one that wins. So Flipped Out is winning right now. Sweet. It's your turn for the Za.
Alrighty. This one is, he told me you killed him. No, I am your blank.
Hey, see, this is a Star Wars one, so there we go. Yeah.
Yes.
Told me you killed him. I am your... Oh, this is perfect. I'm glad this one came.
You did some great ones here.
Excellent. Thank you.
That last one was hilarious. All right, everyone's locked in. He told me you killed him. No, I am your sassy, slutty, sexy dressed.
Wow.
Very formal.
He told me you killed him. No, I am your purdy princess.
Imagine James Earl Jones saying all these lines.
He told me you killed him. No, I am your daddy's girl.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, I'm going with daddy's girl.
Yes, we all have a point now. There we go. All right. Cool. Miss Martin, you're next. Okay, it's never mind. You get the bad ones.
I'm gonna kill you.
You get the bad ones. I don't get it. You want me to read it aloud, or?
Well, it depends on what the answers are.
Okay, well, it's your turn. So.
Okay, well, I'm waiting for them to pick.
No, but read it out loud first.
Oh, read the question. Oh, my bad.
Yeah, the question. Yep.
Crap. I shouldn't have spent my money on that hooker. Now I have only $5 to buy.
Oh, the answers are just too easy here. Okay, I'll use a cleaner one for you.
Well, thank you. All right, here we go. Oh my God. Crap, I shouldn't have spent my money on that hooker. Now I only have $5 to buy Chinese food. Oh, crap, I shouldn't have spent my money on that hooker. Now I only have $5 to buy the sequel trilogy. Oh my gosh.
Overpaying it.
I'd rather spend the money on a hooker. Okay, crap. Exactly. I shouldn't have spent my money on that hooker. Now I only have $5 to buy a fart blaster. I'm feeling adolescent right now. It's going to be fart blaster.
Oh, yeah. So the ass blaster was from Tremors, and then I was like, fart blaster would be kind of funny, too.
Oh, that was Flipped Out? Woohoo! Dang,
he needs 2 more points.
Feeling adolescent, too.
All right. So, okay. Here we go. And for my last wish, I told the genie, I wish I could utterly dominate and rule over blank for life, yo.
You're supposed to be like, and for my last wish, I told the genie, I wish I could utterly dominate and rule over blank for life, yo. That is funny. All right. Oh, the options. There we go. There we go. Yeah.
Okay, they're in. As for my last wish, I told the genie I wish I could utterly dominate and rule over Jeremy for life, yo.
Geeks and Gamers, Jeremy. That's when I put that there. I figured people would get it anyway from around here.
Okay, next one. And for my last wish, I told the genie I wish I could utterly dominate and rule over Oprah's tampons for life, yo.
South Park reference, if you don't remember.
And finally, and for my last wish, I told the genie I wish I could utterly dominate and rule over moist shorts for life, yo.
That was me trying to clean up the language when I wrote that.
God. I'm going to go with the Fandom Menace one because that was funny.
Hell yeah!
Good one.
See, this is one Teresa should get, but the next one will be something different that she won't like when she's next. But I solemnly swear that I am blank. That's the chat doing chat. You liking this game a little bit? You liking that? He said, Hierarchy, we should make our own shenanigans. Yeah, kind of. Hers is a full stream of that. This would be a crazy thing to do, the full stream of this, which actually, it was because of Mary and Justin Proper that I even know of this game. So I think shout out to them for that. I solemnly swear that I am gayness. Okay. I solemnly swear that I am fart knocker. Indeed, I solemnly swear that I am breakfast for I solemnly swear that I am the bestest ever.
Oh,
Definitely, the gayness one would normally win, but the Brie Larson one fits here so well. So there we go.
Damn,
dang,
right.
Flipster is killing it, man.
Yeah, he's got good cards.
Got all the cards.
Good karma.
All right, it's your turn, Flipster.
All right. Blank went. Okay. Blank went down on me. Score. Please place your answers.
Teresa's like, this is so
I
inappropriate.
was getting to say.
I'm sorry. That's what I didn't want to have this one mixed when you're on, but it said I didn't have enough cards for the other one. So, but that's all good. I think you're enjoying it. It's pretty funny.
Sure.
I can actually see her eye roll.
I know, she's like, sure, yeah. Indeed. Indubitably deed.
All right. Everyone's locked in. Okay. Gal Gadot went down on me. Score.
Hell, you think you'd be more enthusiastic.
I was about to say.
Gal Gadot, the goddess, went down on you. Score.
Dude, Gal Gadot went down on me. Score.
Get out of here. Yes.
All right, like Bill and Ted or something.
That was Dumb and Dumber, I think. She actually talked to me, man. Get out of here.
Flying monkeys went down on me. Score.
Ew.
Yeah, run away. Run away.
Horrible. And last one is fresh baked cookies went down on me. Score.
I wonder. I don't think that's ever happened in history.
And you're the cookie critic, so maybe you're just hiding something.
I've not experimented that far yet.
I don't know.
Good.
This is tough, guys. Flying monkeys.
There we go. Hell yeah. All right, Miss Martin. Hold on. Okay, yeah. You got a good one. You got a Star Wars one. Kind of.
Really? Okay. That's how we win. Not blank what we hate, but blank what we love.
essentially you can repeat. It's the word that you have for the
Oh.
card will repeat the same thing basically for some reason.
Okay, so it'll be twice.
Yeah, I didn't think about it. Technically, there should be some more cards that have double responses, but screw it.
Well, no, I'm showing up 6 cards here.
Oh no, but I mean, like in the question, there's 2 blanks and there's 1 answer in each thing. But I had like 3 or 4 that I had 2 responses with. So that's the thing. Now, did we get more people in here somehow? Possibly. That's not. Yeah. That's a good one.
I picked one, but it's not letting me post it. Does that mean someone else?
You have to pick 2.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. That's what that is. Okay, good. That's what that does. You can pick 2 different answers for it. Good. Good. I thought that was something. That's not how.
One card's for the first blank and the second card's for the second.
Okay, that makes this even better. That's not how we win. Not blank what we hate, but blank what we love. Ugh. Okay. I got it. Boom. Gold.
Okay.
Wow. Way to go.
Wow.
If you want me to read anything, Teresa, let me know.
Okay. Could you read all of them, please?
Okay, I'm sorry, Teresa. I don't mean to put you on the spot with these ones. So that's how we win. Not pleasuring myself to Brie Larson, what we hate, but spanking her boyfriend, what we love. Or that's how we win. Not vibration. That's how we win. Not vibrators on high, what we hate, but giant guinea pigs, what we love. Ancient One in the chat, that one was for you, the guinea pig. That's how we win. Not experimenting with sex toys, what we hate, but porgs, what we love. What's your favorite?
Yeah.
They're all good.
They're all twisted.
Yeah.
Not. Okay, you know what?
They're all so great, aren't they? Eeny, meeny, miny, moe it, maybe. Oh, flip one.
Woohoo.
His
All right.
answers have won. That was good.
Well,
Good.
Flip.
Good game, guys. Good game.
Congrats.
Good game. Yep. All right, that was fun. Thank you, everybody in the chat, for sticking around for the card game part. We're going to try to figure out ways to make it somewhat more where you're just, where you can kind of see, I guess. I don't know, unless you guys like it like this, which is cool. But I thought that was kind of fun-ish, a little bit. Teresa, I'm sorry that you got all the dirty ones.
You're not sorry. It was a trap. It was a trap. I don't feel bad about bringing up Midnight Sun.
Okay, that's fine. That's fair.
Timeline with sparkly vampires.
That's fair. That's fair, Teresa. That's fair. You can punish me by reading like a full page out of it. To me, that would be torture. That'd be torture. But so you can do that if you want. But
I'm gonna remember that. I have Irish Alzheimer's, which is you forget everything except for the grudge.
I'm gonna regret saying that later. But so before we head out, Flipped Out, is there any last things that you want to say to the audience or anything?
Nothing I can think of, Rook. I'm just glad everyone came by. Thank you for enjoying the card game with us, and it was great to have Teresa and Script Doctor here.
And Ryan Kennel dropped by as well, talking the Naughty Dog stuff. We love that. Do you want to tell everybody in the chat how they can get a Fandom Collective card, by the way?
Yes. Everyone in the chat, if you want a Fandom Menace card or you know someone you think deserves one, please DM us, or in the poll at 10 o'clock as well, getting close to 10. Very soon, maybe the next 20 minutes or so, when it goes up, please just say it in the comment section or DM me, and I'll be more than happy to get you on the list. It's not a who wins sort of thing. In the end, everyone gets one on finals day to go up. So, yeah, everyone's welcome to have one. Just let me know.
Hell yeah, thank you, Flipped Out. And if you don't get picked or put up right away, calm down. You'll get put up at some point. All right? Just wink, wink for those if you go back to the beginning and you see what happened there. So, Teresa, any last things you want to say or any people you want to shout out or anything?
Oh, well, as always, to shout out the Twitters and everyone in the Fandom Collective. I guess if a shout out's coming up, my good friend Zevius, he will be coming out with a launch of an Indiegogo for the Sins of the Faith. So keep your eyes open on that. That's something that I've been very much looking forward to. I've been seeing that project from the very beginning. I love great art, and I love Twilight. So there, I completely am out. I love it.
Sweet. Yeah, he's also doing a nice cover for me as well for one of my episodes of the Rookies Legends. So that's cool. Looking forward to that. He showed me a glimpse, a sketch thing of it that he threw together, and I'm like, dude, that's awesome. So that's great. Looking forward to it. Great artist. And then Scriggly Script Doctor, anybody you want to shout out or any last things you want to announce or say to the chat or anything?
Well, I want to say thanks so much for having me on tonight. It's been a blast talking with you guys as always. Thanks so much to everyone in the chat for sticking it out for almost 2.5 hours. Really appreciate that. Special thanks goes to, I guess, Mecha Random 42 and Bulls Trek. They mentioned me in some of their videos that I did watch, but it was just kind of like an out of left field recommendation.
Right.
From it was based off that Bounding into Comics article that Jonathan Frakes put his foot in his mouth for. So yeah, I appreciate that. Go watch their content. They make some great videos as well. And if you liked what we were talking about tonight and are interested in my analyses of movies and television, you can check out my channel at youtube.com/scriptdoctor.
No, yeah, I recommend everybody do that. We got their links in the description below. We hope everybody has a great, awesome day. We're going to be back next Wednesday as well with this is the only time where we're not going to be on a Wednesday. We're going to be on a Thursday next week because I got scheduled to work on Wednesday. So Thursday evening next week we'll be back. And I forgot to put an outro out for us. So I'm just going to play one of our intros again as we close out because I forgot to add that. So
it's all good. Yeah.
So until next week, everybody, shining off.
Shall we begin?
So it begins. And now it begins. So it begins.
And so it begins.
Shall we begin?
Shall I begin?
Shall we begin? Shall we